Good morning. Ooh, that's a morning voice if I've ever heard it. Oh, God. Good morning. Welcome into episode 5 of the Unpacking pod. Yes, I am still half awake. Welcome to the stream. Hi. Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for stopping by today. As you can hear, probably, I've only taken two sips of my coffee. How are we doing today, boys? Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Jetpack and the Jets. That's me. And then you guys. Good morning and welcome to the pod today. I always find the early morning pod is funny because my energy is so like, oh, good morning. Whereas you guys have been up for hours. Good morning, Papyrus. Thank you so much for... Thank you so much for a whole year at 2 Thank you so much for 15 months of support on the channel. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you choose to celebrate. If it is St. Patrick's Day where you are and it's a thing you like doing. I'm surprised Australians don't get as into it because, you know, it is really just an excuse to drink after all. Let's see, have my alerts started working again? We were having problems with the alerts the other day. Let's see if they've decided to start working this morning. Where would I be hiding those alerts? Alerts, alert box, turn it on, see if it works. We're so back, boys. Crow's neck, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my freaking goodness. Thank you so much for 27 months of support in the stream. I really appreciate it. If you are celebrating happy St. Patty's to you, Crow's neck, have a good one. We don't get a public holiday, we don't care. That is so true in Australia. We really only give a damn if it's public holiday. Did we have one recently? There were some public holidays going on recently, and then next month we get daylight savings changing, and then Easter, which will be fun. We'll have to have an Easter-themed episode of the pod. We talk about like Easter traditions and what everyone did growing up and how different Easter is and all over the world, because everyone's got their own way to go about it. You know, got to celebrate Jesus coming out of the tomb and all that. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. So what is St. Patrick's Day? Because I don't think I've ever experienced a St. Patrick's Day. Like I'm saying this, I'm aware of it. I know people celebrate it, but yeah, in Australia, I've seen vaguely people in pub windows walking by. Yeah, Jesus coming out of the bunny in it. Yeah, day drink. See, I'm an Australian. I can day drink at any time. I don't need a special day to do that. St. Patrick converted Ireland to Christianity. Is that the guy that got all the snakes out or something? No, that's different. That's very different. In the UK, described as one word, mayhem. Yeah, like I've walked past Irish pubs and seen people having a great time. I actually sent a photo to Cleo the other day on I sent 2 really good memes to Cleo. I might show them to you boys. This is definitely not pod related stuff. This is me just showing off memes, but it does relate to the specific conversation. It does. Let me save this image and then save this other one, which is very good. Trust me. This is context specific, boys. All right, let me grab this. I sent this to Cleo and I was like, maybe it's time for me to get it back into Guinness. Lovely day for 8 to 13 pints of Guinness. I was like, I've never liked Guinness. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I've never liked Guinness. I've had like a sip, a mouthful. I feel like you have to say mouthful when it comes to Guinness because you don't really sip on Guinness. You kind of just wrap your entire being around. It's so thick. It's basically pasty. Thank you so much, Rockefeller, for being a Prime Pack for 20 months of support. 20 months of support. Thank you so kindly. I really appreciate it. I also want to take a second, and I will talk a little bit more in a little bit. But I do want to take a second to probably say thank you for all the support that happened on the Jets hosting of the Vashine Summer episode. And we will talk about the summer episode. The name of today's pod should be Sponsors Summer Episode Social Media. That would have been way more appropriate. Is it too late to change it? It's liquid bread, it is. Lovely day for 8 to 13 pints of Guinness. Then also this other meme that I sent to Cleo. Boys, check this one out. Yeah, maybe we just watch about the Caicos in the mountain. Lord of the Rings, yeah. This is gonna be me and Cleo when she forces me to. It's gonna be me and Cleo when she forces me to watch Lord of the Rings. I sent this to her and she responded with Kino. We had Lucky Charms. I have tried Lucky Charms before, actually. We need our own drinking holiday. How about St. Patrick's Day? Wait, St. Patrick's? As in, huh? Wait. I'm confused. I mean, it's too early. You have to be patient with me, boys, on the pod episodes, because it is early. So I genuinely have just rolled out of bed. I woke up about 40, no, not even 40 minutes ago. I brewed my coffee. I made myself a small yogurt bowl with apples. And now here we are talking about St. Patrick's Day. St. Pack, as in Patrick. Ah, I see. You can do that. You guys can do that. Time to make your hair green. People go too hard on the green part of St. Patrick's Day, it seems. People should go more hard on the drinking part. I mean, I think people also do that. No, I've never personally done anything for it. I feel like I would get into St. Patrick's Day if I lived closer to Cleo. And I'd be like, hey, Cleo, we're going to the pub. We're going to have ourselves a bev and have a laugh. Like, I've never been in a group of people to do something for St. Patrick's Day, if that makes sense. And then by extension, my family, because I never really got into it, I've never like been around friends who got into St. Patrick's Day. So it's just kind of one of those holidays that passed me by. It's because I don't know what St. Patrick's Day is. Is it time for me to actually Google it? Because I keep asking, you guys keep responding with, it's drinking, innit? Saint. Oh no, someone said Christianity. St. Patrick's Day. No. It's a feast of St. Patrick, religious, cultural holiday, traditional death date of St. Patrick's, and the patron saint of Ireland. So it's basically like a ongoing wake. But like one of those really, really good wakes where instead of everyone sad and miserable and wearing black, everyone gets pissed drunk and has a party. I see it. He was the one that drove the snakes from Ireland? I was wondering if he was the one that drove the snakes from Ireland. Yeah, but other colours associated with Ireland are orange, and you do not want to wear that. Why not? Orange is a perfectly fine colour. I mean, it probably doesn't do well for a lot of people's complexions. But yeah, I don't think I look particularly good in orange. Look good in brown is basically just dark orange. So actually, I might be lying. Because my wardrobe is entirely brown. Orange is associated with Northern Ireland. Oh, sorry, my early morning ignorance is showing. It's a day where you dye your hair and the waterways go green. Green is associated with the Republic, while orange is associated with the Northern Ireland. Oh, well. Let's hey, this is not Cleo Ite's stream. I'm sorry, I can't make my peace, or my peas or mash with this conversation. Really above my pay grade. I should know more. I wish I knew more. I constantly wish I knew more about world stuff and goings on. And yet, up in this noggin, all it is a bunch of nonsense about paint in it. Anyway, good morning, guys. Welcome into the pod. Today's pod will be a little bit shorter. Probably want to go around maybe past 3 hours or so. I do want to get into the questions. There has been questions. I do want to talk about the questionnaire form and how that's going to be changing going forward with the pod. And just in general, today's episode is going to really be like a catching up episode because a lot has been going on. And I feel like we gotta talk all about it. Is fairy bread a thing in Australia? Yes, it is, Pamadi. And not only is it a thing in Australia, it's a thing that I thought about making myself the other day. I did. What? Yes, you were so femboy in the 2 anniversary. I am not. I think that's what I think that's what went past my head. So. Let me, give me a second, boys. A little more coffee, then I can form my sentences properly. Jets is the hashtag sponsor in 8 hours or 32 hours. I believe it would be 32 hours, which we'll talk about as well. Sponsorships. I do have a little list of things to get through, but you know me, boys. I can't seem to stay on a consistent path ever and of thought. And at the moment, definitely less than normal. And we will get into that as well. Also, there will not be any memes or art review today. We're going to keep hoarding the memes like a great dragon, and we'll show them all off on Friday, which I really look forward to. Did you get your Marco plush yet? Yeah, I do! I have my Marco plush, I have my Cleo plush, I have my Jetpack plush, and I need to take some photos of it. I want to take photos of them with me, Mama. I want to take the photos of them all together. I just haven't done that yet, because things have been all over the place. Episode 5 of the Jets cast. We made it to 5 episodes. I'm surprised this got past the first episode, but thank you guys for enjoying this little chatting segment. Belfast is a great place to visit these days. It has had issues over the decade. I would love to go to Europe. It was just yesterday I kind of was lamenting the lack of travel I've done, but it's a thing to get. It's the thing you start lamenting too much over when you got so many things going on, as I do at the moment. Jetpack plush filling in Cleo Marco plush sandwich. Yes, I do want to take a photo, which is like me and the bad babes I pulled by being purple. I would love to go to pretzel country. I've always wanted to go to pretzel country since I was a very young age. It's just one of the things as an Australian, traveling over to Europe is not often like a month to 2 long month endeavor. And I've got streams to do, boys. I've got jetpacks to hang out with. I can't be taking time off like that for myself. Want me gold? Wait till Friday. And then we'll have the gorgeous, gorgeous gold of memes and arts to share on stream. Let me drink some more coffee. So, hope you're all being well today. Hope you all got your coffee. Let's start off by talking a little bit about some good things. You know what you do? It's a compliment sandwich. You do the good stuff, then we do the bad stuff, and we finish off with the good stuff. That's how it goes. The good stuff let's talk about the Vishayon 2-year anniversary and the merch and everything brilliant like that. Going to Tokyo on 24th. Any tips from the past journey? First of all, have fun. It's amazing. It's really good. Second of all, learn 5 words and it will carry you the entire time. Yes, no, please, thank you. Cash card. That is it. That's all you need. Basically just arigato, or maybe excuse me as well. Excuse me, sumimasen. Card is card, cash is kashi, hi is yes, EA is no. That just learn like 6 really basic words and basically you can get everywhere and you'll have an amazing time. That's all I can really say. Also, if you can get yourself My Japan Suica card. Suica card availability was really, really difficult to get when I went, but it's been about a year now, so it might have changed. There was a chip shortage at the time I was over there. Someone was eating all the chocolate chip cookies. But if you can, get yourself a Suica card because public transport is an incredible experience and it's really convenient to just top it up at all of the 7-Elevens and metro stations. Buy canned coffee from the vending machine. It's so good. I specifically recommend the Boss Coffee French Cafe au Latte. It's in the cream beige colored can. I basically drank 3 cans a day when I was over there and put a little bit of weight around my hips. But you can't get it outside of Japan. You can get in Australia, you can get the standard latte, boring one. You can get the standard black coffee, which I like. But the one that you could get in the Japanese vending machines was the specific French milk au latte coffee in the can. And I would get the mini cans, and I'd also get the big jumbo bottles that you could sometimes find. Oh, I loved them. They were like mini cans. So I was surviving off these French au latte, Boss coffee cans. I loved them so much. I wonder if I can find a photo of them. Boss coffee latte in a can. It's the beigey cream colored cans. Not the Australian one. I want the Japanese one because the Australian one just doesn't taste the same. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. This one. Yeah. Cafe au lait. This is the best one. It's a bit sweet, for sure, but I was chugging these. I was chugging these when I was in Japan, boys. And you can sometimes find them in the larger bottle. And I had one of these in my bag at all time. That's my recommendation for going to Japan. Thanks, I learned a new word. Gundam wa doko desu ka? And now I'm feeling confident. Yes! Ask him where the Gundam is. Gundam wa doko desu ka? You got this, bro. Have an amazing time. Japan's awesome. I'm very much we're not getting into the segment on the side of the pod of talking about traveling, which is not really the intention for today's episode. But this year I wanted to travel to America, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. Unfortunately, with the way the world is kind of wild at the moment. And by extension, I do want to mention, that didn't mean to rhyme. Goddamn freaking poet over here. By extension, talking about the world being kind of wild and rough and me not being sure if I'm going to be able to travel to America at the moment because of how crazy things are. I want to say just a reminder to everybody, please, I know a lot of you guys are from the US and your US jetpacks. Please remember to take care of yourself. I probably don't have to say this. You all know this. This doesn't need to be spoken aloud, but I completely understand if anyone doesn't need to support, and you should never feel guilty, or like, oh, I have to. No. Like, this is no. Like, oh, I'd feel bad. No. That's like should never ever be a consideration. The economy is a lot for everybody everywhere, so please take care. And that kind of segues into sponsorships in some kind of way, because one of the reasons why I recently been changing and approaching and being open-minded to opportunity to take on sponsorships is I would rather be able to be like, okay, I can pay my rent this month with sponsor money and then never have any of you guys feel obliged to support the stream, because I want to be able to keep streaming and be self-sufficient and then be like blessed that you guys choose to support what I do on top of that, if you can, and if it's financially possible for you. So even, hi Jess, I hope you're doing quite well. I hope you're doing quite well, Slaven. Thank you so sincerely for 21 months of tier 3 support. Thank you so much, dude. I hope you're doing wonderful this morning. Welcome to the pod. Well, chat did ask chat. Wait, did ask chat to give you more monies? No. There are two things I want to skimp on, no matter how broke I am: toilet paper and jet subscriptions. How can I give up this little guy? I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. But like, yeah, I want to try and find and be very, very smart and business lady and more confident and comfortable with taking on other opportunities in this space that now that I'm able to get them, to allow myself to be able to be focus on stream fully without having any anxieties of you guys having to or support, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like that's the most productive way to go about it, because then I'm always so gracious internally for people supporting what I do, but I can also do that in conscious knowing it's not going to be a financial burden to support this stream. Support the Dom Boy. And with that being said, there is a sponsorship happening tomorrow that people in the Discord were like, Chats, why? And I was like, these last months have been a bit full on with my health stuff. I think it's time I not grow up, but it's time that I'm more open-minded to opportunities, whatever they may be. Once like that being said, I will never like do a Rated 11 Legends kind of thing. Like it's never gonna be absolutely something I completely disagree with. I feel like the sponsorship coming up tomorrow, which is Assassin's Creed Shadow, will be really fun. Will be a really fun game. I don't know much about those games, and it might not be my kind of game, but for a once-off stream, for the opportunity provided to work with a bigger team and to provide you guys a release date access of a cool game, however scuff as it might be, however chaotic, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a couple hours of doing it, so I think it will still be able to make it a good time. Like that I can see we can make the most of. And we get the Ubi money. We get the Ubi money, boys. AC Shadow, hope that gives AC Jets. Well, I have actually played a little bit of Assassin's Creed beforehand. Although I said it in the Discord, it was less playing, more like I was at a sleepover with a bunch of girls. And the girl that was hosting it, she was really, really into Assassin's Creed. She's like, guys, you have to see Assassin's Creed. And she brought up the one that was in Venice. And we all kind of had a turn on the controller. So I was like briefly handed the controller. So I briefly played Assassin's Creed, the one with the kind of Tuscan inspired style. AC2, I believe, yeah. And you know what? It's honestly about time that I play Assassin's Creed. Because then I can say I'm the AC streamer, boys. Armored Core, Ace Combat, Assassin's Creed, never using her air conditioner. I've covered them all. Except I've never streamed Animal Crossing on stream, although I was obsessed with Animal Crossing during COVID. I did do the whole feminine urge to literally do nothing with your time except for Animal Crossing. I've talked about this. I was on Nookazon. I was trading with people online to get my ideal. I was farming characters on the islands. I was using the tarantula hacks to get infinite money. I was I got into Animal Crossing in COVID. It's the reason why I have a Switch. The reason I have a Switch is Animal Crossing. I had turnips on lock. I considered cosplaying the turnip girl. You know, the one with the little snot's nose and the turnip hat. Yeah, the feminine urge to kick ugly villagers off your island. No, all my villagers were hideous and I love them so much. I specifically was hunting hideous villagers. It kind of brought me a lot of joy. I wanted all the little freaks that no one else wanted. Daisy May, yeah, I thought about cosplaying Daisy May for a little bit. When I was like, when COVID's over, I'm gonna go to like a convention and I'll cosplay Daisy May. And then I became an anime woman on the internet, and that kind of took up all my energy and passion. Jess loves ugly things. That's why she keeps us like, Jetpack, you guys are adorable. Don't ever say that about yourselves. Look at your purple face. How could you call that ugly? The most I played of Animal Crossing is as a villager in Mario Kart. Animal Crossing New Horizons came at the perfect time for me. It was very well aligned for me to get addicted to it. And I have talked ages about how I wanted to record a video of my island to show you all. Like, because I put a lot of love into it. It was entirely Spirited Away inspired. It was like a Studio Ghibli Spirited Away inspired. I had all the villages inspired by the traditional Japanese mascots and kind of it was all their homes, and I put a lot of time and effort into it. I had all like custom signs and custom flag and all the rest of it. Yeah, it was very, very good. I mean, you played the first Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I'd actually would love to do like a retro stream eventually. Of Animal Crossing on the CRT, like the original GameCube Animal Crossing. I feel like that would be a really cozy stream to do some point in the future. Talking about CRT, we're kind of jumping across points, but I'm doing my best to keep it linear here, going from sponsorships to support. I think we should go back. I do want to talk more about support before we jump into the CRT stuff. Yeah, I kind of said what I wanted to, but just once again, economically it's kind of crazy, and with sponsorships I'm being more open-minded to maybe games that are not like my 1000% best game in the entire world. It's not like oh, it's not a mecha game, I can't play it. Being more open-minded to, well, if it's a cool opportunity with a cool team and they are able to provide me a decent amount of bag for the opportunity that allows me to feel comfortable for the week and never feel like the jetpacks have to feel any obligation to keep me afloat, I think I should take that on. I think that's a mature thing to do. And knowing me, I try and even if the game is atrocious, try and make it as fun for you all as possible. And like use it as almost like a challenge, if that makes sense. Like use it as a challenge. Be like, okay, maybe this game isn't my kind of game. Well, it's a challenge. I'll still always do my best to put my best foot forward and make it a really fun stream for you all, no matter what the game is. The bag benefits all. Get the bag. Love them. See, I don't know if I'd do that one, Cobalt. You might have to talk to the hags. They might be more inclined than I would. Speedrunning career begins. I don't know how well speedrunning pays, and I definitely don't know if I have the skills to do so. Like with movies, even terrible games can still be great with the company. I still think some of the favorite streams I've ever done on this stream have been with awful games. I had a great time with Devil May Cry 2. I had a great time with Deus Ex 2. Some of those Deus Ex streams are absolutely delusional brilliance, where things just keep breaking. We couldn't have got toxic poison, boss, you just killed a child, if it wasn't we played through the terrible game which was Deus Ex 2. So like there's I feel like, boys, I feel like there's so much fun with these weird wacky games that aren't so perfect. At least that's how I approach it. I kind of like when games are a little bit more broken. I feel like I can do more with it, honestly. I feel like I can do more with it and we can, as a community, meme on a game a lot more than if it's peak. Sometimes when we're playing something as incredible as Devil May Cry 5, I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what to say. Because this game is so good. What can I contribute to this? Apart from going, wow. Oh my god. Peak. Whereas when it's boring jank, I can always find a few more jokes. There's always a few more jokes in the noggin that I can riff on, which I enjoy. I enjoy the challenge of creating bits and bants when it's absolute scuff hell. those sponsor game streams, they don't clown too hard. I don't think I'm going to clown too hard. We'll see. Also, you are allowed to, not too hard. Obviously, you can't be like, don't buy this game is shit. But you can have a joke around and have fun with it, and you are able to be critical, if I want to be, of course. Who doesn't love a wow from Jets? Some kind of poison. What do you mean Devil May Cry 2 is a masterpiece? True. You're telling my insider agent in Bad Dragon to cancel the sponsorship? That's not happening. That's even as a joke, I feel like it's too outside of my comfort zone to do anything specifically erotic. Like, even if it was like, haha, teehee, funny, this VTuber has, like, you could totally joke on that. I think it would just be too much outside my comfort zone. That's where the thing works, where I'm being more open to sponsorships of things I don't know, but it's still, I will have a limit of like, this is just not my kind of game. And of course, I will always forfeit a game to someone else of a shine if I think it's better suited to them. There's been a lot of opportunities where I've been brought a sponsorship in the last year, and I was like, that's a really cool game. I've never played the series. Please give it to someone else. There's been a lot of times where it's that. Even originally with Kingdom Come Deliverance, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to play that initially because it's not my kind of game. It's Clear's thing. I'll let her have the focus, until the team was like, no, we would actually like you to play it as a person who knows nothing about it. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually a really cool idea. And I think I could provide something cool to this game, not knowing anything. So, you know what I mean? Like, I always will. Well, I'll take it on if I do think it's appropriate. And it worked out really alright. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed Kingdom Come Deliverance. I actually spent kind of the whole weekend thinking about it. I was like, I kind of want to just boot up and space out with it. I still feel like a fish out of water. I don't know if we'll run to doing more streams of it, but I actually did really enjoy the play style. If it was more my kind of genre, I feel like I would have really connected with it. Yeah, way more elements I enjoyed than didn't enjoy. I just feel like like a noob. I was like, I don't know anything about history, all these kinds of games. This is now going to be the third game series in a month where Jets isn't starting from the start. It has been a chaotic start of the year, hasn't it, boys? Although the sponsorship stuff, we can't say. I feel like they fall outside of the standard because they are one-offs and they normally are exclusive opportunities. Whereas which is different than, you know, me actually starting a game series of my own accord. Going in blind can work at time. Absolutely. What's the thing you said about Monster Hunter? Didn't you say something at Capcom's heard? You said, yes! Oh my god, yes, exactly, Sidewinder. So the someone on the team of Monster Hunter heard me say I wasn't going to play Monster Hunter because it wasn't my kind of game. And then Pez, our manager at Key Creators, was like, oh, no, I think you should reconsider. I think she would consider that if she was doing it with her, like, all of her friends and Vishayon. And I was like, yes, you know, actually, I would. I'm so sorry, Court. I would reconsider that. So thank you to Capcom for giving me a second chance. Yeah, it was kind of like, is that a challenge? It was reverse psychology work. Do you think they were reverse psychologying me, boys? Fuck. I am very thankful for Capcom. Capcom was amazing to work with. Big shout outs to Capcom. I would love to do more stuff with them in the future. They're really cool. The team at Capcom, who clearly has some kind of appreciation for Vishayon. They seem very cool. Is that since when Capcom is lurking at chat? From what we understand, there is a Capcom individual lurking in chat, and shout out to them because they seem like a cool individual. There's a cap pack. There's no cap. There's a cap pack. Yeah, just like don't. Hey, we are having quite a pleasant morning this morning. Let's not talk about Dota. That's like bringing politics up at the Christmas dinner table. Let's not mention Dota. Sip my red coffee, but I have kind of gotten a little sidetracked. I think talking about the sponsorships and everything. That's not saying from this point here. That's not saying from this point here, every week for the next few months is going to be a sponsor. No. I don't have any current future sponsorships, massive, that like big stuff lined up at the moment. But going forward, if they do come into like my DMs or my email box, or come through the team at Key Creators, I think I'll be more open-minded to them this year, because it has been a full-on year. I do want to get back into the good old standard. Like, I would love to do some things we haven't had the chance to do for a while, like Gunpla. I do want to set up the CRT stuff again going forward. There's a bunch of projects that I've been on and off working on, but there's the kind of a lot of things might have to end up being put on hold for a little bit. My DMs are open, sponsors, reach out. Gabe living in New Zealand shaking his head with sadness at you. Doesn't Gabe like not play Dota, or doesn't Gabe like not care about Dota? He's like, Dota's okay? Or I'm getting confused here. There's something to do with Gabe being like I don't play Dota. He plays Stalker 2. Yeah, exactly. Gabe's based. He plays Stalker 2. He plays Final Fantasy. He's a base gamer. That's CSGO. He recently played Stalker Cinema Pack. Yeah, I need to update my PC so we can get back into Stalker Cinema Pack. Yeah, he doesn't get involved much in Dota anymore. And that's fair. Drink more coffee. So, sorry, what was I going to say? Yes. Should we get into talking about health stuff? No, before I don't want to get into the health stuff because that bums me out. Let's continue to talk about the talking about sponsors. The summer festival, the 2-year Vishayon anniversary summer stream. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for being there the other day. Thank you so much. It was incredibly scuffed, but I hope you guys got to see how much we had been working on and looking forward to. It was because we aren't like a, we're not a corpo. Vishayon isn't a corpo. We're not an indie corp. We're not a talent agency. We're none of that. We are basically just a group of friends that really care about streaming and want to make cool things together. And so a lot of it was cobbled. Like, we had Hanya and Cleo in our brilliant V-roids. We had me and my Franken bather set that was kind of just like, kit bashed together from elements from my 60s outfit. We had Marco looking absolutely incredible. The Cobalt, that's crazy. I heard people saying that you bought everything Cobalt. The Uno was so chaotic. I'm surprised you had a bikini as Betty One Piece. If you look, and I can show them off here it is. I'll bring it up onto the stream for people to see. There we are. If you can see in this image here, this is kind of what I wanted my outfit to be. So we each had kind of unique things. I was like, Cleo has the one piece, Marco has the bikini and shorts, Hanya has the cute kind of frilly, strap top and bottoms, and then I was like, well, I'll do like the high-waisted short, like sporty outfit. So that's the kind of that's the canonical outfit with the ID tag and the mesh overlay and the bandana to cover my nubs so my nubs don't get hot in the Aussie sun. So that's like the canonical outfit, and I would have loved to actually get Neveray to do it, but it was one of those things where life got so busy. Neveray Papa has taken on lots of other projects that in the end me and Marco just kind of had to end up throwing together something that would work with the elements from the 60s outfit. But canonically, this is what I would love to get some point. I love the sticker bomb. Flamingo, thank you so much. I did the sticker bomb, and you can tell. You know how you can tell that I did the sticker bomb jetpack? There are words spelled incorrectly. I'm so sorry. Marco might have mentioned that there are things spelt wrong on the sticker bomb, but let's look at it less like wrong and more like they're spelt in a Jets way. So if you end up buying any of the limited edition merch sticker bomb items, you will be blessed with Jets Lexia on your specific item forever as a little cherished token to my incompetence. The market was not seen either. There was an example link at the bottom of the fourth wall page. This is the thing, right? It's we are coupled together. We are basically trying our best. We are pushing ourselves to try and make something that's so fancy and professional as a bunch of ladies who are doing this all our own accord, and it ends up with these brilliant moments of the website not being fully done and the being spelling mistakes in the merch. But I think that just makes it more us, right? Doesn't it make it more Vishayon? It's real. It's genuine. We are literally trying to put this together in the most messy, brilliant way. And there's no pretense here. It's yeah. All according to Kekaku. It's a feature. It's our brand. So it was a really fun process, actually. It was a very fun process. It's been in the works for a super long time, and I said, did I say it on stream? I don't know if it picked up on stream, if I was talking about it off stream. How essentially you had the 4 people who would have been the only people that contributed to the school project working all together on a school project. So everyone contributed, and it wasn't like only one of us was pulling our weight. We all brought something to it. Cleo helped with organizing stuff with Tana to get the standee art, and corresponding with Tana and getting back and forth with that. Hanya did all the beautiful artwork for the mascot stuff. I did all the sticker bomb things. Marco did all of the incredible management stuff, contacting the suppliers, doing the budgeting. Her spreadsheet looks insane, boys. Having to work out tariffs and laws and changes and prices and costs and make it work, and how much we had to put down on our end for certain art pieces. In the end, actually, we kind of were like, we were so passionate about this. We were like, if we run this at a loss, it's going to be fine, because just having to be able to have this opportunity for everyone to get things and enjoy them is going to be worth it. I think we're not going to be at a loss. We'll still probably get some support from the project, but we went into it being like, no, we just care about this so much that we'll put down whatever we need to make something cool. And it's ended up being pretty cool, and I feel super proud of all of us that we were able to, as a not fancy corpo, make something that's a little bit fancy, a little bit nice. But once again, with that being said, that we want to apologize as well for the cost of some things. The dollar and the economy is changing constantly, so we didn't realize how expensive some stuff was going to be. And like beforehand, don't support if you can't. I do apologize. I'm going to try myself to get some extra pieces and maybe do the same kind of thing that I'm doing with the jetpack plush, of maybe down the line raffle off some kind of kits or something, like raffle off some kind of like little packs of things, which would like maybe include a plush and a few of the Vashine items, just to try and give back in some way. Because a lot of these things unfortunately have to be limited edition just because of how it works. We can't afford to keep them up forever. So, and it's the FOMO thing, of I feel bad of being like, you have to buy now. But it's, if you want to, you can. Unfortunately, it's limited time. It's just doing it all ourselves ends up being that way. If someone's researched US tariff, bless her for pushing through that spaghetti. It's the spreadsheet Marco put together to try and organize all the costs of like fulfillment, sending to shipment center, organizing, budgeting, cooling, contacting suppliers. It's the work of a crazy person, and we are so blessed in Vashine to have Marco, someone who is as competent with that kind of stuff as part of the team, and like to hold myself for a little bit. I may be incompetent with organization, but I did work on like the sticker bomb, all the graphics, all the design. I was running around checking in on when things were going and everything. You're the artist. All I can help with really is art and being an emotional support and being in the voice chat with Marco, being like, helping her brain mid-max organize things. How long will the merch be up? At the moment, the standee pre-order, !standees if you want to check those out, will be open for 4 weeks, so a 4-month period. Then the standee order will close. I believe we'll probably keep the actual summer merch up maybe until daylight savings. We'll have to find an official end date, and we'll discuss that all as a group so you guys know for sure when's the last opportunity to get merch. And of course, we're going to let you know 4 weeks, not 4 months, 4 weeks. Probably when end of summer in Australia. So I'll double check what date that is. When does summer end in Australia? When does summer end in Australia? When does that end roughly? Summer is the 1st of December to Friday the 28th of February. Oh, it's already over. What? It doesn't feel like it's over. What do you mean? Burn the store, shut it down, it's so over. Wait, what do you mean it's not summer? December to February? To fucking February? Bro, we're middle of March. I'm sweating my tits off. I don't even have tits to sweat off. What? Okay. Well, then in that case, possibly the end of April for the full line. Then that makes sense after Easter, because by Easter it's properly cold. It's proper cold after Easter. So a rough estimate, boys, sometime around the end of April, we'll probably end up taking down the summer merch. That summer celebration. I'm sweating my tits off. I already sweated them off. Ooh. DST is the first Sunday of April in Australia. That makes sense. Yeah, I was like, April makes a lot more sense. Yeah, we'll probably aim for end of April. Gives you guys a few weeks, over a whole month to get the whole collection. Once again, you won't be in the blind about it, boys. I'll obviously ping in the Discord, and there'll be notifications on Twitter, and I'll alert you guys on stream about what's happening in the merch, so you're not like, oh, I missed it. There should still hopefully be heads up about the whole thing. Our winter ends on March 20th, so my birthday. So tracks post-Easter would make sense for you lot. Yeah, let's do post-Easter. Calendar seasons are always 3 months and may not correspond to your actual local climate. Yeah, turns out. Good morning, Dipta. Welcome, and how you doing? Welcome. But yeah, sorry, we're getting distracted. So thank you guys for supporting the summer. It's really cool. It's really cool. Should I show the video again? Do you guys want to see the video? Is it too upbeat to show the video? Is anyone who hasn't seen it? I'm sure that everyone, if you're here, you've seen the video. You've seen it. What video? Wait, you haven't seen the video? Okay. We get to show off the video then. Okay, give me a second. Pause the music. It's video time. I didn't see it. Okay, dude, I got the video. Do I have a treat for you? Oh, wait. She's a professional, full screen. Wait, give me a second. All right, thank you guys for being here today on the Jets Pod. We're just going to take a second here at the middle of the podcast to shout out the sponsors for today's episode. Here at the Unpacking Pod, we are really happy to have vishayon.shop.fourthwall.com as the sponsor for today's episode. If you just sit comfortably, we're going to thank those that allow this episode to happen today. Please enjoy a little sponsored break in the middle of the app. Yeah, we'd like to thank us for sponsoring ourselves. I'm gonna buy! But yes, that is the vishayon.shop. Once again, thank you to Vitoxy, who made that video in 3 days on a crunch deadline. Thank you to everybody for working on it, and thank you guys for supporting us and allowing us to be able to do this. It's really crazy to think about. I kind of talked about it on the episode, but 2 years ago, I think half of us weren't even partnered. Like when we started Vishayon, we were all baby indies, all of us really. When we started Vishayon, I think none of us even were Twitch partners. Because I remember all of us being together in the group chat, cheering each other on. Now we're all partners in crime. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think in the last 2 years how much we've all been able to support each other and grow, and how many people have found us, and we get to, you know, weekly be silly ladies on the internet too. And I am never not gracious for that. Hello Jets, how goes Unpacking? It goes well, Haraku. We've done a little bit of unpacking about sponsors and about merch stuff. Kiss back. Now, sip my coffee. What was I going to get into after this? I was going to say something before I talked about the sponsor thing. No, so the merch thing, wasn't I? I guess I was just saying thank you. Thank you very, very much. Art history. So Jets, those projects on the back burner, any that we know about? Yeah, I think we get into it. Okay. Already talked for about an hour. This probably only end up being a 3-hour pod, so I should probably start answering questions. And this is one of the most recent questions that has come through. And I thought it'd be a good one to start this next segment of talk about, because I feel like a lot of people want a heads up on what's going on in my situation, and I want to give you guys a heads up on what's going on in my situation. So, this question. Sorry. First of all, starts off with, sorry if this is weird. It's all good. But given your current situation, do you feel comfortable talking about how good/bad the Australian healthcare system is? Did you have trouble finding proper specialists who was good with you? What are your costs looking like, if any? And I hope you feel better soon. If you can't answer this, no worries. Please just tell me what your favorite Aussie food item is and what your favorite international food item is. Thank you for showing concern about my situation. I do appreciate it. I do want to get into it, but of course with privacy in mind. So, favorite Aussie food item. Pasty. Though I think it's English, but we do a really good pasty. Pavlova, that's New Zealand. Fuck. Fairy bread, Wheat Bix. I like Wheat Bix. Is Wheat Bix Australian? I really like Wheat Bix. Milo. It's not Australian, is it? I like really boring, classic Aussie stuff, like Wheat Bix. I have one Wheat Bix with a little bit of sugar and oat milk, and it just makes my day. Cornflakes is American for sure, but Wheat Bix. I really like simple Australian foods. Like, I just love Wheat Bix. I love Milo. Pavlova may count. It is one of my favorite things in the entire world. Is Australian healthcare run by spiders like the government is? I want to talk about what I'm going into without, having to in any kind of way make political comment about the healthcare system. Because I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy that doesn't know anything. I am a dumb, silly idiot. So please understand, I'll talk about this as much as I can without getting into that segment of stuff, just because I'm not going to be the right person to make takes about that. This is going to be purely from my experience of things. How are things going? They're a little bit all over the place at the moment. Yesterday, I would like to say that yesterday was an okay day for me. It kind of wasn't. It was basically MI day A all yesterday because I was on phone calls non-stop with clinics, front desks, specialists. As you guys know, it's been a kind of mixed bag of mental and physical health. The mental health has affected the physical health has affected the mental health, and it's kind of been a process of recovering both those things through medication and maybe possible procedures and trying to get things working all together so I'm able to be the best version that I can be and be really good on stream. And I'm doing everything I can constantly to get to that point, and it's rocky because a lot of things are working against each other, and I keep on pushing forward as much as I can. And then of course what plays into that is the system. that I'm working with, trying to get things, like, I can be proactive about wanting things to be better, but the waiting game of, you know, appointments and getting into places and people able to see me and review me, and then you have multiple specialists of different areas all needing to work on things and come together to get third opinions and fourth opinions and all the rest of it. So there's certain elements that I am doing better on getting support on, but at the moment what's become a big thing is my medication. For those that don't know, I have like mental stuff. My brain doesn't work all that clearly most of the time, and I've been medicated for it for the last 4 years of my life. I've been able to have access to medication that basically allows my brain going from like, I can't focus on everything and it's chaotic, and why am I just not able to function, to, oh, this helps me function. That kind of medication. And I've been on it for the last, basically my entirety of my 20s, basically, like 4+ years. The entirety of my 20s. So it's kind of like pivotal, you know, life growth experiences. I've had this medication here to use and have available for when I need it, to help me be able to be clear-headed. And it ends up kind of helping me with a lot of other stuff, because a lot of these brain things, physical things, all end up tied together because your body and your mind is a big old messy package. So what happened, and I'm not getting into the details because it's needlessly complicated, but I was informed that certain practitioners were able to give me this medication. Turns out the state I'm currently in has different laws, and that's not the case. And the state that I'm in, all the professionals within that practice are currently booked up. So I'm kind of currently up shit creek without a paddle. With kind of not knowing if I'm going to be able to get the medication I need at the moment. And so it's a lot of going for appointments, going for calls, paying for appointments, sitting down and then being told we're not sure. I basically spent all yesterday calling clinics, being like, do you have an availability? Then being like, no, we don't. It's calling another clinic. Do you have an availability? No, we don't. Then having to call GP, get another referral, because obviously you can't call places without referral. So it's a lot of like going back and forth. Okay, they don't have an availability, new referral. Call them. They don't have availability, new referral. Call them, and onwards and onwards. So all this is to being said, until I'm able to have access to medication that helps me, a lot of basic stuff, it just becomes a little bit more difficult, you know? Like I am really good. I have a lot of coping mechanisms. I have a lot of ways of allowing myself to exist. I'm not like unfunctional as an individual, if that makes sense. You know, like I can still get up and force myself to do washing or do this or do that. It's just 10,000 times more unfortunately exhausting. It's not that adulting is hard. It's more the thing that would alleviate a lot of my anxieties and my difficulties with that kind of stuff I don't have access to, you know? So beforehand it was like, oh, this is easy, no brainer, don't have to stress about it, just get things done. Now it's become a lot more of a conundrum. I don't know how else to describe it. If you've dealt with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I wish it wasn't like this. It gets very easy to become self-punishing, because you're like, why is it like this? Why can't I just fucking do the thing? Why? And it's a vicious cycle, you know, because no one wishes to not be able to function normally, if that makes sense. It's not ideal. You just want to be able to function and the things you care about, get them done. For me, it's been pretty rough because a lot of the focus has been in line with stream stuff. Sitting at my desk, wanting to work on one of the things in the world that's the most important to me, you know, the thing I care about the most, which is stream. and my brain not working for me and getting in my head about that, because it's like, if I can't do this one thing that I care the most about, what the hell, man? And that's just because brain is a bit cruel and doesn't want to work properly. All this is to say, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get my medication, which is pretty scary, weirdly. I'm doing everything I can to organize it. Like today, after stream, I'm calling more places. After stream today, I'm going to be calling more places, getting more referrals, hopefully hearing something. There might even be a case scenario where I have to fly to a different state to get a review from, like, there might be a thing where I'm like, boys, stream's cancelled. I have to get on a plane right now because the only availability I've found is in a different state. Like, that might be a thing, because I'm like, I need to get this organized. I want to be able to stream and do my best for all of you guys and work my hardest. I will get on a plane if that's what that means. You know, like, I will book a flight, because I'm so sick of not being able to do this. This is so important to me, and every moment where I'm not able to do this and do this well, it hurts me. Essentially yesterday, in between calling all these places and, you know, being told, no, we don't have availability, wanting to, in between that, work on stream and just not being able to do it, just not being able to focus, my brain being this big jumbled mess of bullshit, and just being very frustrated at myself, not in a good way, not in a nice way. I called my mum. Boys, and I did that thing where I was like, I'm not gonna break down, and then my mum said the thing, she's like, Sweets, you right, you sound a little bit emotional. And I was like, I'm not alright, Mom. Fucking floodgates, boys. That one thing where you're like, don't say that, don't say it, Mum, don't say it. And then she was like, you don't sound your best. And I'm like, and so she talked it through with me, and it was really amazing. She's very much a hype woman. I mean, she's like, you know, ex-bodybuilder, PT, so she's a hype woman. So she's like, Sweet, so you know that the second you get the stuff that you need, you're gonna be put so much love and passion into what you need to do. I was like, I know, it's pissing me off to all end that I'm not able to do that right now. She's like, well, it's not gonna make it any better. Getting sad. I was like, I know, Mom. She's like, you're too hard on yourself. I'm like, I know, Mom. Yeah, it's like that one scene from Good Will Hunting, right. All this is to say, it's ongoing, but I'm keeping my head up as much as I possibly can, because I know it's gonna sort itself out, and I know that I'm gonna keep fucking knocking my head against the wall until someone listens. Like, if it takes me another day of calling places and getting rejected, and calling places and getting rejected, I'm going to keep doing that, because this is important to get the things I need, so I can be the best Jets I can be, so I can make the best streams I possibly can. You know, that's important to me. Sometimes you need to get mad at your parents, like good old times. No, my mum's too supportive, I can't get mad. She's saying what we're all thinking. Harassing doctors because you're worth it. No, I mean, I've not harassed my doctor, but it's insane, boys. I get like almost daily calls from my GP at this point, checking on me. I've never had that before with a GP. I'm constantly like, she's constantly calling, Jets, I'm just checking in. Here's a thing, double thing with the bloods. Make sure you change this stuff, change this medication. Also in your referral. I'm like besties with my GP. What the hell? I kill my GP more than I call my mom. What is going on? It's just like, the situation's so full on, and I'm constantly having to call clinicians and places. It's just so unusual for me. I've never had this much back and forth with the medical system. You seem on top of it, Jets. I gotta be, boys, you know? Jets really is a Cynapse test subject. I am. Chat, what does GP mean? I'm German. General practitioner. So GP is your general practitioner. It's basically your go-to doctor that refers you to all your specialists. I don't get why the GP can't prescribe the thing you need. It's probably healthcare. Yep, unfortunately. How'd it go? In my previous state that I lived in, my general practitioner could prescribe my medication. In the current state that I live in, the laws have changed, and the medication I need has to be prescribed by a pet specialist. That costs like thousands of dollars. The reason why I transitioned to my GP, my previous place I lived, is because it was more viable for me. I could then get it subsidized, my prescription by my general practitioner. Now I'm being told that I have to go to a specialist regularly to get the medication that allows me to just do day-to-day functionality, which sucks, but it's just how it is. How's your GP to smuggle it? Aren't other countries outside America supposed to have working healthcare? Once again, I don't want this to segue into my healthcare is better than your healthcare, because I don't know. Don't have an opinion of that explicitly. Rather than I'm currently dealing with this the best that I can. In the regards of the stuff, I think it's kind of crappy. It's just the way it is with essentially most if not all medication for anything related to ADD, ADHD, OCD, any of that kind of stuff. They protect it so much in Australia. So much. They so specific about the rules for that specific medication, and it's unfortunate. And I don't want to have this is maybe me talking a bit too frankly, more than I normally do, and this might be talking a bit too frank, and I apologize if it is, because I'm very protected about a lot of stuff. But if I'm able to be frank for a very brief section, boys, if I'm able to be frank, more than I normally am, they were trying to put me in a bunch of other stuff, and hi Frank, hi chat, and the other stuff that they put me on, I just can't believe that I was able to be put on that, and it had such a awful response to me, and I had a whole spreadsheet of side effects and negative things that could happen to me, and I was able to get that from my GP. But the medication that's helped me for like my entirety of my 20s, that is so restricted. It's unfortunate. It really is upsetting that the case, some things are weighed up like that. And I don't know. I'm not a doctor, or a politician, or a person who puts the laws in place, so I don't know the ins and outs. I'm just a person that needs stuff, and that was whoa. Some medication restrictions are silly, just for governor. Have you tried physical treatment? What if they just lobotomize me? What about that, Spide? You know what? Fuck it. I can't get my medication. Time for the lobotomy. So your GP can prescribe you an actual lobotomy, but we can't give you the non-addictive medication you've been using for 4 years. You know what? I feel like we should try that. Yeah, let's do lobotomy. Yeah, you can't give me the non-addictive substance that I've been using that helps me for the last few years. Oh, lobotomy. I thought they already did that. Could have fooled me. A little brain hurting won't hurt. Now that's a steal. Hi Jets, sorry, but to do surgery, that organ needs to be present. Anyway, I've probably gotten into a little bit too much detail here than I probably normally would have. But this is all to say that the system I don't at any point by talking about this want to come across as complaining, or that, I'm deserving of empathy. I'm very fortunate in everything in my life. Much of the hand of difficulty that's been handed to me. I do live in Australia. I do have a roof over my head. I'm able to stream. I'm able to do this and be with you all and hang out today. And I feel so gracious. And if possible, I will always spin things to find a point of appreciation. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining at the moment due to the situation I'm dealing with. And I also don't want any of you guys to concern yourselves. Although I've mentioned being very dark and having things affect me emotionally over the last few months, I never want that to be brought onto stream or affect stream. And that kind of carries on to, I'm making the choice, and Mech Mum talked to me about it, and she's like, Sweets, just focus on what you can do. Stop stressing about right now all the things that you can't do, because it's not going to be doing you any good. And I was like, Mom, you're right. And at the moment, there are things I just can't do. My brain's not able to. It's not in the best position because I'm still recovering with my physical health, and my body and all those other things, and working through with other specialists with other brain problems that I developed, certain responses and tics and things that affect my day-to-day, and without certain specific medication and things being right, I'm just not in the best position to do some projects as much as I deeply want to. So for the next few months, as best as I can with you all, I'm going to keep focusing on what I can do and doing that the best I can, instead of trying to push myself to not be able to give you guys the best of other things, if that makes sense. So of course, streaming as much as possible, playing as many fun games as we can enjoy, doing the pod, hopefully doing more watch-alongs, things that don't require me to have to sit down and focus for hours and hours and hours on working on other little stuff. And I'm being positive about it right now. There probably still will be days until I get everything sorted where I'm like, I just want to work on these things. But I need to understand that I will be able to work on these things soon. They're not going to go anywhere. I always just never want to let people down. And I feel like stressing myself out is not a good way to do that. It's okay, Jets. If you need to be dark occasionally, it's okay. Shed weight and all that. No! You are not pack therapist. You guys are pack bully me with tomatoes, okay? When I say the word wrong. That's what you guys are, alright? But thank you so much for listening to me talk about this. And I hope it's given a little bit more context on why I've seemed so, once again, scattered, confused, like I'm struggling. At the moment, we're just gonna do what I am able to do, which is, of course, be goofy on the internet. And between those days, go to all my goddamn fucking specialist appointments, you know? These are therapy tomatoes. So after stream today, calling more doctors. Tomorrow before stream, going to more specialists. And then on Wednesday, more specialists. And I'm going to keep showing up to those appointments and showing up to stream, because that's all I can do at the moment until things work out. A diagnosis, femboy. Some of you are probably therapists. Probably, actually. Jetstream attack on our way to support the Jets. You guys do support me a lot. You do. Even just by being a very, very, very accepting community who's been so patient with my return. Because here's the thing, after you take time off of stream, you want to come back, hit the ground running, crazy non-stop goddamn sub-event endurance stream 24 hours. You know how bad I want to do that? You know how bad I want to be like 24-hour grind on getting the art done for projects, client work, blah blah blah. My brain's like, no, Missy, you're not allowed to do that right now. And I'm like, no, let me just go hard. I want to go hard so badly. But soon, just you fucking wait, you bastards. When it happens, you guys will be like, can we go back to the casual streams? This is too much. Man. Sip coffee. Let's see what other questions have come through. let's see what other questions have come through. Hi Jets, new jetpack here. What's the meaning of 237? When I signed up for Discord, I remember some rule about that number and I can't find it now. Thanks. This is a great little question that I will answer. A great little question. 237 is my pilot number. It's on the screen right here now near the Cynapse logo. Essentially, I am pilot 237. My mech number is mech 237. It's also a little bit of a in-joke. I love a good reference. I, for one, welcome a new Jean Faymas overlord. Thank you guys for the support. I'm segueing out of this topic because it's a bit too serious. And you guys know that I don't like when it's like, why so serious? But, I hope that gives a little more context with what's going on. Every time we've had this conversation, I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with being a bit more honest and vulnerable about what's going on. So thank you for listening to me and allowing me to be a bit of a person, a little bit of a person here and there. Well, life is serious sometimes, and that's why we need to look forward to the goofy, like Devil May Cry 5 and more Deus Ex. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. I really hope that soon it won't be a thing I ever have to talk about ever again. I really hope that soon I'll be like, oh God, thanks fuck, we never have to talk about that serious bullshit ever again. Thank you very much for the answers, Jets. You got both of my questions. I'm glad. Yeah, so it's also an inside joke. 237. It's the room from The Shining. It's the key room from The Shining, room 237, which inhabits like the dank, dark evil of the Overlook Hotel. And I've always just liked the number 237. And it's a reference in on my original model, and on this model actually. Oh, do I want to move the camera? I feel like if I adjust it, I'll regret it. Can you see it? You can't even see it. Damn it. Oh no, now I've ruined the camera. I have an ID tag. On my model, I have an ID tag. Jets models. Oh, I'll just show you this version. Oh, there it is. 237 M118 Cynapse ID tag. That is a reference to an ID tag I actually own in real life, which is the key card from The Shining, from the Overlook Hotel. The Shining key card, which I have on my actual keys. I have it on my actual keys. Where is it? It's a 1-for-1 recreation of the door key. Let me show you. I'm saving all the images. I've talked about this beforehand, so I apologize for the jetpacks that have gotten the whole song and dance. I've heard it beforehand. Here it is. So this is the original prop in the movie. This is the pants. Whoop. This is the pants ID tag. I have a 1-for-1 recreation, which was a gift from Mexis. It was a gift from Mexis for like one of my birthdays. It was a gift from Mexis. She's the best gift giver of the entire world. She got me a 1-for-1 screen accurate recreation of the Shining ID tag, and I've had it on my keys ever since, basically for as long as I remember. So when making the original Jets model, I kind of included the Cynapse, mech keys to have that, because it's it's a little reference to me, and this large red key tag that I've always had on my keys. And people, if you know me outside of the computer, people regularly comment on it because they're like, holy crap, your ID your keychain. But the thing is, I love it because I always would lose my keys, and that's why she got it for me. I would always lose my keys. And the best thing about a giant, humongous, screen accurate Shining door tag on your keys is I never lose my keys. It's the best. It's so good. It's bright red. It's this massive, chunky acrylic rectangle. And it's a cool dorky reference, and two, I never lose my keys now because of it. So it solves two problems, and I adore it. And that's right. It's room 237 from The Shining. It's the car from The Shining. It's on my key like legitimately, boys, this outfit you see here with the red key tag on the pants, I wear this outfit out in public. Like this is casual jets to the core. I have like a carabiner that I hook on my short, like my dickies sometimes with the red ID tag, and I go and grab a goddamn coffee. Didn't you have the 237 key card on a cosplay once? Yes, PA Sun did cosplay it, and it featured the ID tag. Long legs. I do. I'm very proportionally leg as a person. Jets cosplays herself. This is known. Hipster nerd. Yes, are you aware of the stream you're watching, Orion? You go with a midriff, I suppose? Actually, no, that's maybe a little bit of a creative interpretation. I might wear my vest might be more oversized than midriff showing. Okay, you're Jean Faymas, but what are you famous for? Being an imbecile on the internet, does that count? I'm a internet idiot. White woman, short hair, glasses, jump scare. Oh no, you doxed yourself? How can anyone identify a purple head femboy with cat? Use the 237 key card. If someone was to come up to PA Sun because they recognized her because of the red ID tag, I feel like PA Sun would be very inclined to have a polite conversation with them and say hi to them and talk to them and say thank you for supporting the stream. Like, if for some reason somebody recognized PA Sun because of the ID tag, just buy me a coffee. Like, you know, like that's I'd take that. That's a real pack. Like if you know enough about the stream to recognize that, you're a real pack. You're 100% a real pack, and I'll buy you a coffee. Only the real ones know. Talking about going out and about, actually, I don't know how much I can mention this necessarily. I think I'm allowed to kind of point to your tag. Nice Jean Faymas reference. Yeah, I'll buy you a damn good coffee and a cherry pie if you recognize it. It could be any Aussie who loves The Shining. Free coffee giveaway, honestly. We'll buy each other coffee and maybe a brewski. I know that if you were a person who saw that, you'd just be a genuine jetpack, and I would be completely fine with running into a genuine jetpack out in the wild. I'd be completely fine with PA Sun being like, oh, like that I don't mind. I really don't mind. Time to hump down jets for free coffee. Follow the voice. Enough said. I don't speak a lot when I go out in public. I'm a get a coffee and a book Andy. I sit very quietly in a corner with a big brown jacket on, trying to not avoid eye contact with people. Someone cosplaying Jean Faymas? Oh wait, it's actually Jets. Do not stalk the streamer. Obviously. I don't, that's a given. Don't stalk the streamer, but if you happened to, I mean, there's not a lot of people in Australia. So I don't think I can necessarily get into this. I won't say specifics. I think I can mention this. There might be a certain VTuber that kind of is in my area now. And one of the topics on this is social media. I was going to say socializing was going to be the topic, but it did actually maybe catch up with a very cool fellow VTuber just to say hi to them now that they're in my area. It's always crazy. VTubers hanging out IRL. It's this weird kind of, it doesn't feel real because you're still VTuber, but you're VTuber IRL. You're like, this is like a Discord call, but I can touch you. Like, I feel like your brain, my brain, like, this is a disc. Like, please don't touch them. Like Jets discovers IRL hangouts. Like, this is like talking on Discord, but you're there. You're a VTuber too, and I'm a VTuber. What the fuck? A very normal thing to say to friends. I'm still getting used to actually hanging out with streamer friends IRL. I've hung out with Varshayan like 4 times now, and it still is never not, on one hand, incredibly natural, and 2, this is incredibly weird. Why aren't you inside my pewter? It's like VR chat with haptics. Yes, exactly. I'm like, this is so weird. Cleo, why are you in here and not in there, and in here and not in there, and in here, and where's the caveman? Like, what if we touch fingers IRL? This is like a Discord call, but I can touch you is definitely a Fall Out Boy song title. Yes. Do you call each other by IRL by streamer names? Yep. Objection. Absolutely. This is a thing. If maybe you've heard this before, maybe you've never heard this. Streamers on all boards almost don't know each other beyond streamer names. Cleo's Cleo, Hanya's Hanya, Marco's Marco. That's just how it is. That's how they. I'm Jets. Like when we're out and about, that's who we are. When we're not anything beyond that, it really just is the way it is. Have you ever slipped and called your bro and sis mech bro and mech sis, and your nibblings mech baby? I have called them mechlings because I told mech sis about that. I was like I called them mechlings, and she's like, that's adorable. I was like, you don't think it's weird? She's like, no, that's really cute, sis. What a nerd! You should look into actually streaming myself now. Stream deck and play games. Dude, do it. Try it. Go for it. Hell yeah. I always encourage people to check out and try streaming. Like, for example, I've talked about this before in stream. When we had, when we all caught up for PAX, all of the Cheyenne girls, they all came over to my old facility and we got pizza takeout. We were going to do a stream where we played Mario Party, but we were all kind of dusty and hungover and tired, and we ended up just playing Mario Party ourselves. And it was so funny because you had 4 streamers together playing Mario Party in a room, but we weren't streaming it. But by God, did it feel like we were streaming it, because it doesn't turn off. We're just like this. We were doing bits. We were riffing. We were saying, what do you think, chat? Like, we were saying that and there was no fucking chat there. We were like, chat, is this real? we're like, chat would like that one. Like, we were thinking of you bros, even if we were all just sitting on the couch, eating pizza, playing Mario Party. Yeah, did you see this? It was the greatest stream you'll never see. Unfortunately, honestly, it was. I think we all regretted not streaming it because it was such a fun time. Though it felt good just to, like, know that oh, we are all just like this, even off stream as much as we are on stream. Ooh, we missed chat. The voices never stop. I feel like Cleo would should have noogied you at this point. Honest, me and Cleo were on the couch together. It was like kind of like that old facility. I had like a little bit of like a mini couch and a mini couch setup. There's one where me and Cleo were on it, and then Marco and Hanya were on the other one. And me and Cleo were literally elbowing each other like, ay. I can't wait to lose my mind so I can have personal chat with me 24/7. It's a pro and a con. It's a pro and a con, having a 24/7 chat in your head. What did I write the other day in my notebook? I was like, you know when people like say they have like a voice in their head, or people say like, how do you fight depression? You give depression a name and then you personify it, and then it's easier to tell it to be quiet. And I was like, I realized I don't just have a voice in my head. I don't have just a one thing that I can give depression a name. I have a goddamn Jedi fucking council. I have a whole damn order in the goddamn court. There is many. I got a whole collective up there deciding what is going on, and they're all fighting. It is voices. It's a gathering. It is a family get together, and goddamn Uncle Anxieties had too many beers. Like, it's a Senate. It's a Senate fucking meeting. It's the voices in the void. If I give my depression any more personality, it manifests into the real world. God, it's fight the brain rot for the throne. They're actually realizing that a little bit yesterday, that it is a Senate meeting. It kind of was reassuring. I was like, no, it's not one thought. It's a bunch of different thoughts, and they're having like a year 12 debate meeting. They're drunk and they're talking politics. It's not good. The many. There's a bunch of little purple dudes in my mind that call me the bongus. You guys are subsets up there somewhere. There is a chat sect up there in the voices in my head. Genuinely. Hopefully no idols of March in this council. Let's hope not. But Jets, you are the Senate. I'm the Senate. We the people which the voices govern. Yeah, you guys are the councils. Hooray, I'm a Topla! What the fuck is a Topla? Yeah, it's the voices in the void because there's nothing else up there. I swear to God. Jess's brain is piloted by a bunch of debt packs. It's hard to get comfy in the subconscious with all these ideas all over the place. If only if I had some kind of medication that made the voices less noisy. But no! I might have to get on a flight. Anyway, I've let me keep on reading the questions. I've started a rambling. We've only got an hour and a half left of the pod before I have to go call more clinics. So yeah, let's continue answering questions. I apologize. I like boys that we can joke in between this podcast. Eventually, this is going to segue into something that's a little bit more professional when we get like guests on, and we start having like a proper interview segment where you guys get to ask questions of guests, and we get to talk to people about the industry, and we get to talk to fellow VTubers. I would love to have not just VTubers on the pod. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I'd love to get industry professionals on here. I'd love to get our manager from Key Creators on here to talk about the industry. I'd love to see if I can get Con from Bandai Namco. Imagine that! I would love to get like the people who actually work in games, in streaming, and get like a wider perspective of stuff onto the podcast. So going forward, things will become more professional with this a little bit, and we get to be hopefully it'll be really insightful for all of us. You guys can get to get this interesting perspective as well as me, of VTubing, of people in this space. Doug, if Doug wants to come on the pod, I would love to talk to Doug about stuff. Like honestly, I'm completely open-minded, and if you guys have suggestions of people you would like to see on the pod, I would love to hear that as well. Just going to the moon. Hopefully we can get to the stage where we can suggest VTubers on the show. I'd like to see smaller indie creators. Yes, I love that idea as well, J5. I really love that idea. This is why I've enjoyed. At the moment, we're like, we're in the pilot episodes, so we're just working it out. And I like these early episodes have been more kind of like getting to know spaces about life and everything. But I look forward to opening the guest books. Freaking trash taste. Jets on cold ones when. Let me go into the next few questions. Some more coffee, but I'm liking we're able to just joke and stuff. This is the in-house episodes. Exactly. This is the liminal pool era of the podcast. Jolly? Would you guys want that? Anyway, I'm open to anything. Doug, anybody? Hot ones? Yeah, I'll get the hot ones on. I think it's going to be really, really cool just to open it up to anybody. I really am interested in industry professionals for sure. If possible, actually like reaching out and emailing some of the people who I've been fortunate enough to get to know and collaborate with, just to get different perspectives in this crazy world of streaming. Try to reach out to fellow Aussie Alana Pierce. She has multiple podcasts on game development and a lot of connections in the industry. I bet she'd love to help. I've never heard of Alana Pierce, but I'm open-minded. If you want to link their stuff in the Discord, sure. Alana would be great. Yeah, totally. Please link that. I'm really, really open. I want to keep this space not just about VTubing. Obviously, we're going to have Oliver Shine on. Obviously, we're going to have lots of VTubers. I would love to take this opportunity to talk to lots of VTubers about their process creatively, what it's like to be a VTuber. Do you have any precedents about what you think a VTuber is meant to be? Do you want to see the world of VTubing changing? All those kinds of questions. I want to really unpack that. I don't want it to just be when people come onto the pod, shindigs. Oh, I would love to have shindigs on the pod. Love to have shindigs on the pod. I'll probably make a brand new category in the Discord, which is just for the Unpacking pod suggestions. I'll make a new thing at some point this week before or at least before the season 1 starts. I'll make a new category in the Discord where you guys can put stuff into the pod. Hi, welcome in Raiders. Hi, welcome into the pod. Pog Raid, how was your stream? Welcome in Katana. How are you doing? Metal Flesh. Were you playing Metal Gear? What were you doing today? Let me know. Welcome in Raiders. Hi. You're playing Metal Fish Solid? Which Metal Fish Solid game? I've played all of them. Well, most of them. I've never played Acid, but who's gonna play Acid or Survival? We don't talk about that. The first. Wait, MSX first or the first one on PS1? Come on. As a lady who played the MSX games, you gotta be a little more specific. Welcome in, guys. Hi, my name is Jets. Survival was interesting. My name is Jats. I'm Australian. I'm a tomboy. I welcome into the Unpacking pod, where we unpack things all VTuber related, streaming related. We were just talking about kind of having future guests on the episode, talking about what it's like to VTuber. Maybe, Katanya, you could stop by if you're ever interested. Metal Gear and Metal Solid, the first solid one. What an amazing game. How far are you guys in? I don't want to spoil stuff. I don't know what kind of kino she's experienced. Rate us. How far are you guys in? What cutscenes did you watch? Anyway, I should say, if you do have to head off, there's no obligation to hang around here today on the stream. Please take care of yourself. It is the start of the week, so have a nice, cozy one. And if you are hanging around, it is very nice to meet you. After electrocution, that was my first time ever on stream doing a button mashing sequence. For those that, if you are new here, I really only got to start playing video games as I started being a streamer about now going on 4 years. Prior to that, I didn't grow up in a situation where I was allowed to play video games. So the first time I ever did a button mashing sequence in Metal Gear was the electrocution sequence, and I screamed so loud, I think I got a noise complaint. It hurt my fingers so bad. Katana, please go rest, take care of yourself, take care of your fingers. Thank you so much for raiding. I really, really appreciate it. It was an iconic moment. I love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear so deeply. I'm a bit of a Kojima brain rot individual. I went on to like play Death Stranding, and Death Stranding completely preoccupied my brain for like months. So yes, take care of yourself. Thank you so much for the raid. We are like answering questions here on the pod, raiders. I don't know. This is an interesting introduction, raiders. If you are interested in what I do, I normally play sci-fi games, retro games. I have like a CRT set up. I'm currently playing the Deus Ex games. We've been working through Devil May Cry. I like VR. I love Kojima. So if you want us to check out those streams, they're later the week. I am doing a sponsored stream tomorrow for Assassin's Creed. But that, gotta pay the bills. Thank you guys also for following. I don't follow alerts, but I do appreciate you stopping by here. I'm just going to sip my coffee, and then we're going to answer this next question. Katana's a creeper. You don't know what you've done by giving her attention. Well, if Katana would like to stop by the pod someday, hopefully they totally can. And also, Anonymous, did I thank you properly for gifting that sub? Please, enjoy your emotes, Katana. We have a lot of them. Purple jetpack emotes, a lot of them made by yours truly, a lot of them made by members of the community. I'm something of an artist myself. Of course, we're talking about Kojima. Yes, okay, we can talk about Kojima a little bit more. Well, because Kojima's a little funny individual. Because he's literally me. For real. People like to say that Ryan Gosling is literally them. No. Hideo Kojima is literally me. Whenever he's there with like Rocco from freaking with Mega 64, posing with Rocco, posing with Pecora, I was like, this man is me. This man is this man. He's there with freaking Nicholas Winding Refn, and he's like goofy jackets. Bro, it's me, man. Kojima is for the boys. Is the best. He's so Kojima is so true to himself. It's something that I respect so deeply about him. One of the weirdliest isn't a word. Weirdliest? What am I? One of the weirdest, strangest, one of those things that is an ongoing struggle I feel like everyone can relate to, is being true to yourself. How it should be in this little fucking world, little existence we have in this world. Being true to yourself should be the most natural, easy, convenient and no-brainer thing to do. Yet it is an ongoing challenge, right? To just be comfortable with listening to your gut. Kojima really is one of those people that is just Kojima. He is Hideo Kojima, and I will always respect that about him. Even if I don't love every of his artistic choices, I am the individual that wrote a four paragraph treatise in the Discord after we finished Death Stranding on why I hated the character of America, despite the fact that I loved that game. Like, being true to yourself also opens you up to your bullshit, but you can't ever say that Kojima isn't Kojima. She literally has dyslexia. Please accept her funny words as they are. Can we get some jetslexia posting in the chat? America the country, or America the character? Sorry, the character of America Strand. Oh no, America Bridges. I can't remember. I mental blanked that character from my mind because she infuriated me so much. But that's just how you feel about women. No! Hey, Raiders, don't listen to this. Raiders, please know that I am Jean Faymas, woman respecter. Also, sorry, Raiders, you might not realize, but we're currently in the third dimension. Sorry, sometimes people don't realize. Sometimes people don't realize that we're inside the virtual machine. I'm a woman respecter, okay? Jean Faymas, known woman respecter and pussy just right. I mean, what? What was the last part? Cinematic 360 spin. We could do the Michael Bay spin. I don't know. Wait, that's not right. We need. Wait a second. We need like drum explosions. That didn't work. The bit didn't land well enough. The bit could have been better. Trailer drum explosions. Drum explosion. Yeah, the drum explosions. Trailer drum explosion. Trailer music. Trailer music? Epic trailer music. Hold on. Yes! Hold on. It's so good! In a world where one Jean Faymas hosts a podcast, what will she talk about? When will she get cancelled? This summer, can one tomboy really tell you how to live your life? Oh god. From the twisted mind of Jean Faymas in a world filled with hags. Sorry. Film of the year. I'm so hyped. Let me drink more of my coffee. What's a tomboy? That's a question. I've got other questions I've been answering that have been in the submission things. What is a tomboy? What a frog, Smolder. What is a tomboy? I've actually thought of a few times removing the idea of like the tomboy tag and tomboy from my name, because it gets a little bit of hullabaloo around it with what is a tomboy. The reason why I originally used tomboy when I started streaming 4 years ago now is because it's always been my intention with these streams to have a bro-ish, casual, relaxing atmosphere. There's VTubers out there for everybody who fill every niche. You got your cutesy experience, you got your little sister experience, you got your Onesan experience, you got everything, right? And I just realized that I wasn't going to be able to fulfill that kind of, I'm not gonna be like, hi honey, welcome in, we're gonna play games today. Like, it wasn't gonna be that vibe from me. And I wasn't gonna be able to be like, you know, do the GFE or anything like that. And none of this is to say that I disagree with that. In fact, I freaking have VTuber friends who do all those things that I respect massively. But for me, what I always wanted to do with streaming was to play classic video games I've always wanted to, never had the chance of. Play Doom, play freaking Metro, though I didn't know about Metro and Stalker when I first started, but the Jets GF experience. Yeah, the Jets good friend on the couch you're drinking beer with experience. You know, so I put down the term tomboy because that seemed like it's what kind of captured the kind of atmosphere that I wanted to create on stream. And by extension, also, I've always been tomboyish. I've always had friends who were dudes growing up. When I was a kid, I was in the Scouts. I'd run around and covered in dirt, scratched up knees, my Rossi cowboy boots, and climb trees. And I was that little scramp as like a kid, like in my adolescence, where they'd be like, this is a boys only treehouse, and the girls would be like, yeah, but why is Jets there? And they'd be like, because Jets is one of the boys. Like, that was just how it was growing up. So for me, you know, I mean, I don't think nowadays I'm necessarily the most tomboyish, because I'm just kind of a multifaceted person. But then again, I cannot describe myself as explicitly feminine, and I'm not really good at being explicitly feminine. If need be, you know, going out for dinner or whatever for like a Twitch con PAX event kind of thing, I'll brush up nice. Like, you know, I'm not against pulling myself together, but I'm never gonna go crazy about the most cutesy things, and it just isn't what excites me. I get needlessly excited over big machinery and concrete and seeing mechanisms and you know, that's just the way I am, you know. It says no girls, we allowed one girl, and that doesn't mean like, and like nowadays I'm really into sport and I have a pair of weights coming in the mail. I'm gonna start weightlifting. I kind of want to have arm strength. I with taking better care of my physical health and trying to nourish myself and not let my anxious brain not take care of myself. I'm also like, I think I'm able to build some strength, so I'm kind of becoming a lifting tomboy. I'm sorry. You told us to kill you if this happens. Okay, Jetpack, line up the tomatoes. It's time to put me out of my misery. Mod, stone her. So like I'm becoming a little bit of a gym bro, just a smidge, and I feel like this is slightly inevitable. Like there's inevitability that like in my life with all the things I like that I probably was gonna become a little bit of a gym bro eventually. It's just, you know, one of the bros. I can't help it, dudes. It was always a risk factor that was involved. You But now I just don't know how I find it so lucky that I get to be a streamer and hang out with all you guys who find what I am cool. Like, I've found a community of people that, and I never thought this, I still find that I'm a little bit niche, and I get why maybe I'll never be the biggest streamer in the world. Not that I want to be. I'm really happy just hanging out with you all, because it's like, to be the short-haired scrappy tomboy who just wants to build Gunpla and now is into weightlifting is such a fucking package. Like, try and explain that to any normies. Okay? Try and explain that to normies. They're like, wait, you don't want baby, have pregnancy, wear a dress, and churn butter? It's like, no, I kind of just want to build robots and lift some weights, dude. like, I don't know how to, I feel like I'm, you know, I like, no, bro, I just want to watch my sci-fi movies and build my robots. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm becoming this weird little, I don't know, version of myself where I'm so happy. I'm so happy because I'm just able to do the things I love, play retro video games and collect my old technologies and build my cool robots and stuff and just be myself. But I'm also very evident that that's not exactly what people expect from a lady. You want big arms, you should be churning butter. Hey, good point. Not that I would be against making my own butter. I feel like there's a world where I can still make my own butter. And the occasional art talk. Dude, it makes you happy, it's all good. Having your own interests, bog. Ladies can collect old technology. It's true. I collect old technology. Exactly. Freya made butter and steam once or twice. I love Freya. Adore Freya. The incredible Freya Gummy. Churning butter would be in the shoulders, not the arms. Yeah, I need to get my shoulders strong. Have you tried dry scooping protein powder yet? No, I don't dry scoop my protein powder, but I do have protein powder with my yogurt every morning. I have cottage cheese with my avocados to protein max. I've been watching lean beef patty non-stop. Oh hey, I was watching Catania play Metal Gear Solid and now I'm here. Yes, the incredible Catania did raid me and now I am telling her community about my protein maxing. Oh god. It's too late, bros. No tomatoes can stop what's begun. She's too deep into the rabbit hole. Lean beef patty's so chill and approachable. I was looking at different like core and glutes exercises the other day. I need to force feed you biscuits. I've run out of dark chocolate digestives, Cleo. I'm now on the Biscoffs. Have you asked Mum for suggestions? Yes. I did ask Mum for suggestions. I just found out protein powder can mix with other things other than water. My body's had a laugh about it. Dude, mixing protein powder with anything but water is the only way I can consume protein powder. I can't consume protein powder in just water. I mix it with my oats. I mix it with my yogurt. I mix it with my iced coffees. I cannot mix it with smoothies. Anything but water. Protein powder in just water is the most ass way to have protein powder. You are doing it wrong, bro. You're doing it so wrong, homie. Like, it just everything but water. There's so many nice ways to integrate protein powder that's not water. What flavor do you use? Vanilla. Then that way you can mix it with more things. I would rather drink raw eggs than just raw protein powder. Yeah, protein. I use oat milk for my protein powder. Kinda slaps. Yeah. Then you have it with cereal. You have protein cereal. Why are you so mean, Jets? I have feelings, Jets. Sorry, am I hurting people's feelings by insulting the straight protein powder water? I'm sorry. Hey, if you want to raw dog your protein like that, be my guest, homie. My brother in Christ, go crazy. I'm just telling you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a better way, my man. You don't have to be doing it like that. Don't apologize for being right, Jets. Bro just up here sniffing his protein, doing lines off the bench press. Like, the only supplement I raw dog is creatine. Yeah, I don't mix my creatine with anything. Yeah, shut up. I'm becoming such a gym bro. This is disgusting. This is filthy. This is so nasty. Oh no! Just eat powdered protein with that spoon. That's why they give you the little spoon, so you can pre-portion your protein into little, like, little mini bite-sized amounts. She's so cool, bros. Oh my goodness gracious gravy. But it is like a weird thing. It's kind of funny to like be able to talk to you guys and you guys go, this is so cool. Jet's getting into like gym bro stuff. Jets is so cool with her Gundams and her sci-fi interests. And then I go out and touch grass and I'm like, the normies don't vibe with this as hard. She's become the thing she swore to destroy. I don't think I'll go too hard. I don't think I'll ever become too hard. I think I don't see myself like only wearing gym gear, you know, and only doing that. Jets, you're scaring the hose. Oh no, I think I'm scaring the hose. Stay hard, bro. Lol, Lamau. Who wants to become a normie? They suck. I don't think I could ever become a normie, even if I tried. I really wouldn't know what to do. There's every subset of my personality is some kind of freakish, passionate amalgamation of the things I enjoy. At this point, I'm just who I am. I'm this weird Franken, ex-art student, VTuber, sci-fi dweeb, mecha collector, now gym bro, who collects old beige jackets and thinks old men are kind of cool. Who am I? I don't know. I'm Jean Faymas, and thank you for supporting what I do. The word you're looking for is cursed. That would make sense. It would make sense if I was cursed at some point with how bad my the medical situation has been. Anyway, I need to answer more of these questions. I've gotten a little distracted. We do have a few more questions to pod, and we probably only have another hour of yapping before I do have to call people. Hyperfixation machine go. Yeah, let's not even get started on my endless knowledge about the band The Smiths. I've never seen Jets and Ziz in the same room. No, you need to ramble more. To be fair, with all the internet poisoning I have, I'll never be normal. That's the thing about streaming, is when I got into this, I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to like what I do, because I just kind of doing my own thing. And it's so blessed to have found so many people join this community who are like, wait, VTuber who likes these things? I like these things. And it's just, we're all in this together. We're all posting our mechs and our memes and the jetpack, the six-pack pipeline. Amazing. Okay, let me answer one of these other questions. I'll keep on moving. Long-time viewer, first-time viewer. If you make really cool and amazing thumbnails. Oh, thank you. I was wondering, what's your thought process when making thumbnails? And if you apply your arts degree in arts theory at all. Also, the Vashine anniversary is very fun. Thank you very much for the question. Thank you for enjoying the Vashine anniversary. Oh, the Raiders have probably all left. I've probably scared them all away with my yapping about gym broness. Should I talk about the summer stuff to the Raiders? Raiders, if you didn't know, we have a Vashine summer merch line. If you'd like to check it out, you totally can. We've put a lot of passion and energy as a very small group. Putting it together, making it, because we're not a corpo, we're not anything too fancy. But yeah, if you like, check it out. It's really cool, Raiders. Should we play the video? Play the ad? Play the beats? Okay, Raiders. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Vashine Summer release. Please enjoy this little trailer from from the summer collection. Not a corpo. Please enjoy. I'm so proud of it. I feel like a proud mom. I'm like, look at what we made. The caster voice jets. I know, I need to, that's the thing with the pod, is I keep catching myself going into like Genki mode when I just need to remember. We're just sitting here, chatting, talking, drinking coffee. Gotta get back into the caster voice. Gotta get back into the casual, being able to put it on in the background kind of voice. Abra, thank you so much for 17 months of support me when I'm jetpack. Thank you for supporting what I'm doing. Thank you for supporting this. I really appreciate it. Hey Jets, the merch command link doesn't leave me where not found. Oh yes, I do need to deactivate that. I don't personally currently have any merch set up. hopefully is one of the projects that will probably have to be put on hold, is the merch stuff. I've been working on personal merch stuff for quite a few months now, and I think I'm going to pause that because it's a bit much for me to manage all the logistics of with how my brain is. Dave, I have the worst time trying to keep my voice down when I know for a fact it's much more pleasing. Yeah, I sound like an Australian Mickey Mouse. I have 2 modes. I have hi, welcome to the stream, and let's go play some video games. And I don't like the other one as much. Right, this is far more enjoyable, so I hope you're doing well today, Dave. Welcome in. I can't do Goofy. I can only do Mickey Mouse. Hi from Wisconsin. From Wisconsin? You guys have got good beer and cheese, right? You're doing well? Hell yeah, dude. Sorry, the question that was asked was about thumbnails. I haven't answered the question. I've gotten distracted talking about the Shy on Summer Anniversary. I love making the thumbnails. I know I'm one of the few streamers and VTubers who uses the thumbnail function on Twitch. If you've never noticed, and I completely understand if you haven't noticed, if you go into the video section on my Twitch page and you go full videos, you'll see that all of my thumbnails on Twitch are all actual custom thumbnails for every single game. This is not a thing you have to do. This is not a thing 90% of people do. It is a thing that I do because I have brain rot. The reason why I do it is because I really adore the VOD channel. I love having the VOD channel nice and organized, and it just makes that kind of transition from the main channel over to the VOD channel super seamless, because I get to put the going live post, I make the thumbnail, it goes up on the Twitch, it goes up on the VOD channel, everything's clean, everything's neat, people can find the videos very conveniently. It's very satisfying for me. I enjoy having everything have a nice little, title. Image for people to enjoy. Too bad Twitch hates the VOD channel. It is unfortunate. I guess this is the thing about Unpacking. We're able to talk more candidly about Twitch and Twitch changes and stuff. It is really unfortunate that Twitch keeps on kind of changing a lot of on-site features that encourage people to go off-site. I'm constantly feeling like I'm having to direct you elsewhere. I wish there was a better way for me to organize announcements and schedules and stuff that were on Twitch, so I didn't have to constantly make people go to Discord, because I know not every person wants to use Discord. I wish there was a better way for archive stuff on Twitch. I didn't have to constantly be like, go over to YouTube with the VOD channel. And then we end up having jetpacks scattered all over the world. But if you'd like to, ever get updates and stuff, that is in Discord. If you'd like to see archives of my stuff, that is on YouTube. Those are places you can find them. And I get that it's a lot having to follow and keep tabs on everything, when it would be so nice to have it all here on Twitch. But I'm going to HQ tomorrow. I'm gonna take an effort not to be perny about the VOD highlights changes. Yo, Dave, can you mention this thing that I've kind of been cooking in my mind? Twitch, could you please add the option in the clips section to organize via games? I would love for to be able to go, hey, I played Deus Ex. You can check out my Deus Ex clips, and go onto the clips thing and search category Deus Ex, and it comes up with all the clips that were clipped via that on that stream. So then people can go, oh, yo, the streamer played this game. Instead of having to go all the way over to the VOD channel and watch the entire Deus Ex 7 part playthrough, I can just see some of the top clips from those streams and see if I kind of liked the playthrough. And I feel like, wait, we can't do that already? We can't even organize via date, buddy. We can in dashboard. Viewers can't organize via date on clips. It's basically just most recent and top of all time. Viewers. Yeah, this is for viewers. This is only in dashboard. It would be amazing if you bros watching the stream can go over to the clips section and search via category and be able to see specific streams that you liked and you want to go and check out. Twitch Tracker kind of does that, but not really. Yeah, the problem with Twitch Tracker is it doesn't show every clip. Twitch Tracker tends to default to the most popular clips, and then if you clip something, you obviously can find it on your end, but maybe you're looking for like a a friend or like a fellow chatter whose clips you liked, you can't find them. Anyway, sorry, that's probably a little bit too business packs. I just thought like that would be really convenient for you guys, right? To be able to find clips via category. Like imagine you're like, I'm really hankering for a Jean Faymas voice of the void clip moment. You can just search by the category and go into the DM if anything else. Noted, my man. Always give feedback whenever I visit. This is the 3rd time. Let them know your piece, Dave. Let them know. Shake Dan Clancy by the goddamn collar. Good evening, good morning, Jets. Hope you're doing good and please take care of your health. Also, sorry if I couldn't put in questions in the Q&A. I was in training the last hour. That's completely fine, save a notch. Thank you for the nice words. I am taking care of my health. Yesterday was a full-on day calling front desks and clinicians, and today will be another full-on day for me. But I'm putting my best foot forward and taking things a little bit more easy so I can focus on, doing the best streams. Sorry, I didn't properly answer the questions about the thumbnails, my process for making the thumbnails. I tend to make them right before stream, if I'm going to be really honest. I wake up. I'm very methodic with my getting ready for stream, and this is something I would love, boys, when we do have guests eventually on the pod. One of the questions I really want to ask my fellow streamers is I want to talk about pre-stream prep. Because I feel like for some people, there's probably nothing they do. And for other people, they might be like me. There's a full rigmarole. I have like a process that really kind of settles me into the pre-stream setup. I got a ritual. Be me, wake up, make thumbnail, go live, pray OBS doesn't crash. Yeah, that's also true. That's also part of it. Cleo laughing because she knows I'm going to ask her this question. She's like, I just hit live. Because I'm very particular. But I think this, Cleo, when you do stop by the pod, I think this will be a really fun conversation to have because we'll be able to unpack the differences of our approach with going live. Because I don't think one's better than the other. And this really is a personal preference, kind of thing. For me, the hardest part's coming up with a title. That is difficult though. Coming up with a title. We don't talk about this. There's so many different ways to approach the Twitch title. There's so many different ways. Do you go clickbait? Do you do the nonsensical rambling title all in lowercase? Do you just go part 2, playthrough 1, no backseating? Do you go, there's like the 4 horsemen of the Twitch title apocalypse. You have the title that's very sensible and professional. You have the title that's all caps chaos. You have the clickbait. You have they have the title that's not at all related to the stream and just as a random thought consciousness split. Could be Shimada. Yeah, I would love to have Shimada in the pod. But so for me, I have a bit of a ritual because I think it keeps me grounded and it keeps me honest, and I feel like it makes there's no anxiety because I know, okay, I do X, Y, Z, I get those things done, then I hit live and then we're good to go. The title with the emoji bookending, the 1-word description of the scream. Yes. Do you use the emojis? Do you use certain dashes, exclamation points, all the rest of it? Keanu Reeves? Hell yeah. Mr. Keanu Reeves, please come on the pod. I would love to talk about your incredible film. I was thinking What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which I think Keanu Reeves is actually in, but no, I was thinking of My Own Private Idaho, which I watched recently, which is really great. John Wick, he was in the Armored Core episode. So maybe I can be like, can we talk about cool mechs, Mr. Keanu Reeves? I like 1-word titles with an appended random string of exclamation marks. That's a good one. Yes, that is a really good one. The secret level? Do you do another Barely Noah joke? I can't help it. 90% of my titles end up revolting back to barely know her jokes. But sorry, like I was saying, ritual. For me, the reason why I like doing thumbnails, it's part of the ritual. It's better to wake up, make coffee, have breakfast, do all my morning stuff, then sit down, open OBS, set up titles, set up thumbnail, have all those things ready to post and go live, have everything ready to go live, and then the second I actually hit live as the loading screen's happening, it's me posting things, finalizing things, calibrating system stuff, and responding to things in the Discord why that loading screen is happening and people are stopping by the stream. The thumbnail was just part of that. So sometimes it's really cobbled together because I do it right before stream. So I have kind of a system of like, grab image background, grab logo, grab image of my face, and then make it all look good together. And then my thumbnails have changed a lot. Let's try and see if I can find a example of my older thumbnails. YouTube thumbnails 2022. Oh wow. All right. I mean, you can go on the VOD to see my old thumbnails and see how they've changed. Let's look at an example of a collab or like an older. Oh my god, this is me announcing the VOD channel. This is the post I made for announcing that I had a VOD channel. I'd forgotten about this. I was like, you can now. I now have a VOD channel. Yeah, top secret archives of Jean Faymas' broadcasts. You can find them over on YouTube, the internet. Then for a period, actually, for a period, I did have my VOD. So this was for a while. This is what all of my VOD channel thumbnails look like. For a brief time, so originally it was called The Lost Tapes, and it was like an archive, and I had them all themed around this idea that they were like VHS tapes, like lost tapes in the Cynapse facility, and they all looked like this for about a month or so. They were like VHS covers of the thumbnails. Now, the reason why I ended up not sticking with that is it was kind of, it became a little bit unlegible, and it was less easy for people to see what kind of stream that they were looking at. So I kind of ended up changing from these style here for Zone of Enders to like just the classic Zone of Enders full screen one, so you could actually go, oh, at a glance I see that that's the Zone of Enders. It would be really good for mini series of game playthroughs. Like if I ever want to go back through and change all the VOD thumbnails for a specific game series, I could make them themed, and I would like to do that for specific games. Nice for thumbnails for playlists, yeah, things like that going forward. But these are like old thumbnails, and then I have even older ones that I don't know where they're properly archived. So, essentially, I've kind of kept very similar with my thumbnails, game, face, background. The one thing I would say that's changed about them is just gotten a lot better at using I don't know, like shading and coloring and stuff. They're a little bit more cinematic. I guess that's the one thing. I nowadays I've learned a little bit more about like drop shadows and making the colors look more integrated in the background and all that kind of stuff. The one on the bottom is better for bookmarks. The one on the top is better for YouTube. It's about finding the balance. Like ideally, I loved the concept of the VHS covers aesthetically, but would have that been convenient for you guys finding the VODs and being able to find the one you wanna watch? No, I had to think about the algorithm, which is unfortunate, but it's just like a natural thing. This one here does so much better in the algorithm than the one underneath it, like what one's gonna catch in the YouTube algorithm more? Well, the one with the big anime lady with the white outline. So it was just kind of, you gotta acknowledge the beast a little bit. it was one of your VOD thumbnails that originally dragged me and said thanks for that. Yeah, I know for a fact that there are jetpacks that have stopped by streams because randomly they got suggested a, you know, Metal Gear stream, and I'm so fortunate that that allows people who maybe would never stop by Twitch to go, hey, maybe I'll check out this streamer on Twitch, and, you know, now you get to hang out here and, you know, enjoy the streams. Fuck the algorithm. All my homies hate the algorithm. It's a double-edged sword. Because on one hand, new people get to find the stream. On the other hand, I don't get to use my goofy VHS thumbnails. But, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what is my process for it. It's really game dependent. Some games, I'll keep it super, like, you know, immersive. Like, it's like color grading and dramatic. And then other games, I'll keep it super, I don't know, like, or like the Still Wakes the Deep one's a good one. You know, it's like immersive. It's got the atmospheric color grading and all the rest of it. And then other thumbnails would be like your typical standard, bog standard game thumbnail. I'm trying to think. It's hard to try and find good examples. Yeah, like, which is literally just my face, white outline shadow on game. These thumbnails are quite good, thank you. I came in on the rain, I stayed for the tomboy. I'm glad you enjoyed your stay then. It's hard. It's I don't know. I don't know how to describe making a good thumbnail. You say bogan standard? That's me, I'm the bogan standard. It's trying to make all elements legible at a glance and aesthetically nice to look at. It's like you want people to be able to see what the game is instantly, and that there is a funny anime lady playing it. And sometimes I get to go more aesthetic with it. Other times I go more just focus on the game. If that makes sense, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it rather than that. And I really don't know why I would choose to do more game. It's whatever I feel like on the day, really. How long have you been doing this? Because this is crazy. What do you mean, Spider? How long have I been doing the thumbnail thing? Or how long I've been streaming? Or you know, I don't know. My thumbnails are stylish. I'm trying to think of good examples of things. Here's a bunch of Lethal Company thumbnails that have different kind of vibes. Trying to fit all the anime ladies onto one Lethal Company thing. I like it. I like making them. I think that's the thing. It's why it's so hard for me to explain how to make how to make a thumbnail. I enjoy it. It's fun little artistic challenges for me. I like trying to come up with different ways of making, specifically when it's a big group of people. I'm like, how can I get it's like a challenge, right? You're like giving yourself a challenge. Okay, here's the game. It's like you're giving yourself a client pitch every week, every day almost. You're your client for yourself. Here's the pitch. This is the game. This is the streamer. It's like an aesthetic puzzle. Yeah, it's like an aesthetic puzzle. You have to convey as simply as possible all this information and make it look kind of nice, and I kind of like that challenge. You know, it's a mashup of skill, imagination, context of the game. Yeah, like what kind of vibe does this game has? Does this game have a kind of moody vibe? Can I make the atmosphere? You know, can I integrate myself into the thing sometimes? Oh, I can do like a half fade. Should I replicate? Because then it's like some games I do the thing where I edit myself onto the character body. That's not every game. I did that for all of the Death Stranding thumbnails. Those were fun to make. Where are the Death Stranding thumbnails? It's you know, and it's other games I just chuck myself on the corner with an outline and I put the game cover on it, you know? Like it really depends on if it works for the game, if it works for me, if it works for the idea. I don't know. So the silent protagonist is really good for putting your face over. Yeah, exactly. There's some games that work better for putting your face on it, the character, and work better for just putting the character in the corner. Like, okay, for example, for things like retro games tend to get this treatment. If it's a game which has like a proper box cover, like PS2, I go, here's the game, here's my face. Retro games tend to have more of that kind of stuff if we're playing something retro, whereas more modern games might have a more stylized cover than other stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah, here's my Death Stranding ones. Like my Death Stranding ones. I did a lot of editing myself into the character. Yeah, for my Death Stranding ones, I did a lot of immersive putting myself into the cut, which was fun. Those were really fun challenges because I had a lot of fun trying to do all the shading and trying to do all of the getting the lighting to look right for it. That was good. I enjoyed these thumbnails because once again, they're like little challenges. They're like little artistic project challenges of, okay, how do I convey the energy of the game, put myself into it in this little image the best possible. So I constantly edited myself onto the Death Stranding ones. Art school helped with this? Maybe, but this is not saying that anyone can't do this themselves as well. Recently I did I like the portal one. The portal one's fun with me like coming out of the wall. Yeah, like I just like them. I just think they're neat. I just think they're cool. I think that's the thing. It's hard to describe the process for making thumbnails because I find it a very fun challenge, and I don't really have a clear system because I enjoy being able to make it really dependent on the game. Yeah. What I would maybe say is that drop shadow is your friend. If you don't want to do these kind of integrated thumbnails, drop shadow is your friend, white outline is your best buddy. Oh, if you want to have the most minimal effort thumbnails but look good and captivating, drop shadow, white outline. It saves the day. It saves the day so much. It's a little endorphin relief when it works. It's the classic for a reason, yeah. Where's my one I did for... I really like the one I did recently for System Shock. Where did my System Shock one? I really like my System Shock one. Where is it? Yeah. The System Shock one Yeah, I really like the System Shock one. This was cool. Being able to make myself Shodan, that was fun. That was a no-brainer. I instantly knew I wanted to do that the second I googled System Shock and saw the Shodan face. I was like, I knew it. I booted up like Worldo. I put myself on the angle specifically. That's one thing I love about 3D is it's way easier to integrate myself into thumbnails because I can pose in a certain way I couldn't beforehand before I had the 3D. So I like doing a lot more integrated into the world thumbnails because of that. You know, making myself part of the character. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Sorry, I've just went into like a thumbnail showcase. Didn't mean for that to be what happened. Let's answer some few more questions before I end up getting too deep into this and then don't answer as much as I wanted to. Oh, another one example, Invisible War. I angled this perfectly. This was fun. This was fun to do because I got into 3D. I made it so my face was in the exact perfect angle to recreate the Invisible War thumbnail. And that's what I like about 3D, is being able to do that. Is it the same mindset when you make the main channel video thumbnails? Oh! That's a little different because the VOD channels are like, they're just for me. I rarely think necessarily about like clickbaitability. Whereas if it's the main channel stuff, like the stuff for like you know, like the meme reviews, that's where I'm a little bit more, I guess, content brained. I'm like, how do I make this as attention grabbing as possible? You know, that's one where I'm like, I will put circle point thing. I love filling the screen with as much as possible in those cases, like with the Voices of the Void one. Like I'm like, how can I make this Voices of the Void like this? Okay, this is the Voices of the Void thumbnail for the main YouTube channel versus, for example, a Voices of the Void thumbnail for let's show you guys a standard Voices of the Void stream, which is like super chill. It's not necessarily meant to be attention grabbing. It's just meant to be like where is a good one? You know, it's meant to be just so you guys, okay, Voice of the Void, you got the satellite, it's a bit like glitchy because Voice of the Void is glitchy. It's got the nice little shading on the character. I just thrown it together so you guys know what's happening during the day, and it's a nice little convenient thumbnail for people who want to check the stream later. You know what I mean? It's more, for my standard Voice of the Void streams, it's more just like, okay, just so people who are looking for the stream later can find it at a glance. Voice of the Void, nothing too fancy. Whereas the one for the main YouTube, I'm like, it's like a proper edited video. So I'm like, I'm gonna make it more like, whoa, did you see it? Did you see it? And that's more of my approach. But I don't dote on it too much. I don't try and go too hard with like the clickbait stuff, because, you know, it can only go too much before it becomes overbearing. You're good at editing? I know, again, it's easy because I enjoy it. Do you always do the shading yourself, or can you do some of that with 3D apps and stuff? Yeah, it's all basically myself, just running filters and stuff through like the software, like adding the chromatic aberration and stuff like that. You just use like lots of layer stuff with it. Just how long is season 1 of Unpacking? The pilot season of Unpacking is going to be until I get the new intro, and then that's when we're going to start with the interviews. You will know, don't worry, you'll know when the main first season starts. Anyway, let's get back to the more questions. We have more questions coming in, and only a little bit longer for me to answer them. I apologize. This is season 0. These are the kind of pilot episodes where teething pains, growing pains, just kind of learning and talking about random stuff, whereas things will get more formal going on, and we'll have guests, we'll have the intro, and I'm going to be making a new questionnaire form. I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I'll mention it again now that we've continued. There will be a new iteration of the questionnaire form, because I've learned a lot from the first form about how it organizes the questions, and so I'm going to do a brand new form and create it so I can send them to like a Excel spreadsheet, so I can better manage all the questions that are coming in and make sure I'm not missing them. So that's going to be a thing going forward as well. Next question is there any Aussie specialty coffee roasters that you recommend? I love pour over coffee, and I would like to try some beans from Land Down Under. Bro wants to know my beans? Okay. I'll show you what beans I get. Oh God, you're gonna judge me. You're like, Jess, that's so expensive for beans. I'm like, yeah, bro, but I did the budgeting and I worked out it's cheaper for me to brew my coffee daily with these beans than getting out a coffee at a cafe every day. It works out being like half the price. Okay, I budgeted the beans. It seems expensive on the surface, but I drink it daily, so it actually works. For those that wonder, I get here is a snippet for you. I'm looking to try different beans. I have tried different beans. These are just my go-to beans. I really like these beans. If you can get them, I don't know if they ship internationally. These are I'm on a bean subscription. I get, for anyone that actually specifically wants to know what coffee I drink daily, if it's this one, and I'm currently trialing a couple different brands because I want to have a more average coffee that I can just, like a daily driver. These are like my good quality beans. I want good beans, and I want some like average beans I can like make into iced coffees and coffee cake and all that kind of stuff. This bonga's drinking beans. I bought the coffee farm. It's cheaper, trust me. Okay, so I drink A coffee. These are the beans. Look at them. Look how pretentious these beans are. They're really good. It's a Melbourne, it's a Melbourne, Australia coffee roaster called A Coffee. I don't know if they ship internationally. This is just the beans I get. I love them. Fucking fancy beans. Yes, there they are. But they taste really good. That batch coffeed. I used to go check out the actual cafe back when I could go or travel to it. I loved the atmosphere. It was like the regular for a period for me and my peers, and a lot of the roasters we'd go to would have their beans. So I'm just kind of nostalgic. I just like the flavor for them. Yeah, this is my favorite roaster, and I am on that bean subscription. I'm subscribed to the beans. They got me on Big Beans, got me boys. These are there. I get the filter. I really like the Santa label and the Fletcher honey, but I also like trying their monthly beans because they're all different kind of flavors. Yeah, and I am that pretentious fucker who gives a damn about my bean flavors. Do you grind them yourself? Yes, I use a hand grinder. Every morning I wake up, I weigh my beans out, I put them into a hand grinder, I go and I grind my beans, I pour them into like currently right in front of me, I don't know if you can hear this, I have my pour over cup, a pot that I've been pouring out my coffee into my cup, and I've been drinking it, black filter coffee. That's just how I like my coffee in the morning. This girl is up drinking beans. I still drink like instant coffee during the middle of my day, but at this point in my life, I like the filter process. It's very satisfying. I think the flavor is the best. It's affordable. It's practical. It's a thing I enjoy. Do you mix the beans up? No, I tend not to. I tend to just keep whatever the standard flavor is. I get the monthly. I have a mocha pot. It's really cool. I've tried other process. I tried press coffee. I tried AeroPress. I've tried all the rest of it. For me, filter coffee is just like, it's the nicest way to make it. I like the process. It's very tactile. I feel like I'm assembling something. I feel like I'm like, Jesse, we need to cook. There's a routine to it that I find very satisfying, and it's not too fancy. Anyone can do it. It's the most basic, bog standard way that people have been making coffee for centuries. And you basically just you grind the beans, you put in the paper, you put the boiled coffee over it, and there you go, bean juice. And I like it. Is there a difference between a French press and an AeroPress? Yes. I feel like they are technically the same process, just a different machine. French press, I think AeroPress is more on the go kind of thing. Cold brew's my jam, but I also have a mocha pot. It's more about the coffee, or is it more about the ritual? Both. I think that's why I like it. It's a mix of both of them. For me, it's both. I love the coffee. I love the ritual. So it's a win-win. It's a real win-win for both of them. Cool, they ship internationally now. Well then, hey, if you get my fancy Australian coffee, tell me if it's good. You can tell me it's ass. You can be like, I tried the Jean Faymas bean recommendation and it was shit, mate. You can tell me. You can say, I'll take it. But that's the beans that I like. Thank you for asking the question. Oh, this is a good question. Okay. Hi, Jets. Hello. I just got a spin bike. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm working on improving my health. Incredible. I'm losing weight. Yeah, if that's something you're interested, that's fair. So far, I've just been watching a few episodes of a show, and while near constant pace, while gradually increasing resistance. Do you have any specific spin bike routines that you follow? Is it mostly just steady pace as well? Thank you for hosting these. It's been really fun. Thank you so much for the question about spin biking. For those who don't know, I'm a spin bike Andy. I love my spin bike. I love using it. And congratulations on taking care of your health and trying to focus on that kind of stuff. Spin bike is great. I love it because it's a super approachable way to get started. And I think you're totally doing the right thing, the exact thing I did, which is like just casual paced stuff while watching shows, nothing too fancy. It's an amazing way to just get yourself into the routine of liking to spin bike without putting too much pressure into yourself. You can later on. So when from what I understand and what I've looked into in the research I've done with spin biking, there's different states that you want to be in with like spin biking, like different cardio states. There's different zones, and different zones will affect different things. If you're at like a gradual pace, like if you're doing low impact is what it's called, like if you're doing a low impact ride, that's really, really good just for like general heart health, cardio health, and I guess like, you know, fat burning, or like, you know, general that kind of stuff. Spin bike Australian for pedal bike, yeah. That's like just really good just for getting, and I like that. That's what I enjoy. I've tried to go for more scheduled spin bike stuff, like following like more class directed things, like turning resistance up, then turning it down, standing up, sitting down, all that kind of stuff. And maybe one day I'll get a Peloton and I'll be a Peloton Andy and I'll finally see the light. But currently with my current setup just being a basic spin bike, for me, I really enjoy just like long, low impact. I like riding for a long period of time at a nice consistent pace. It feels really good for me. I like a 40-minute ride. That's sick. It's very relaxing. It's like I can decompress. But unfortunately, until I'm a bit more experienced, I would say that that's a good way to go about it. But if you do want to, the best thing is to try and, I think, is match your cadence and your resistance. Cadence being the speed you're going, resistance being how, you know, the tension, the difficulty of the spin, and changing between those throughout the ride can be really good for more, I don't know, like hit stuff, like high intensity, like going back between like a low resistance, low speed, or like a higher resistance, slow speed, and all that kind of stuff. But you probably need like an instructor, or trying to find YouTube videos and stuff. Damn, this is more than just spinning. That's when it gets over the head, and that's where I'm like, if I want to get into that, I probably will have to just become a Peloton Andy. At the moment, I'm fine with like low impact sustaining while watching movies. It's very relaxing for me. Or reading books. As I've mentioned, I like to read. I like to read on the spin bike. I'm almost finished Cat's Cradle. I'm really enjoying it. My usually at 9-10 resistance, about 35 minutes. Hell yeah, that's solid. Jess, can I just spin in a circle until I black out? I wouldn't recommend doing it till you black out. I do my spinning while playing a comfy APRG, like PSO Xenoblade. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a perfectly good way to do it. I think if you're going to do more resistance stuff, you can probably combo like the spin biking with other things like weightlifting, which is what I might be doing at the moment. Because those things are easier to like control building resistance on. I'm becoming a health guru. This needs to stop. Next question. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so sorry. Don't listen to anything I need to say. I need to get Mech Mum on the pod. Then she can answer these questions. We'll have Mech Mum on the pod, and she will tell you guys about how to actually update your resistance. I'm just saying things I've heard from Mech Mum and like read briefly online. Please do not take my opinions. I am not a professional. Watch Lean Beef Patty. Learn from her. What's another good question? Is this a question about the moon landing? Okay, did Stanley Kubrick direct the moon landing and then leave a bunch of Easter eggs about it in The Shining? In the novel, the room to be avoided, the epicenter of the bad mojo, is room 217. Kubrick changed it to 237. Why would you make a change like that? Maybe because the moon is the average of 237 miles from the Earth? I love the Room 237 conspiracies so much. I love them so much. It is amazing. If you ever want to watch a movie that's about this exact concept that's very funny, please watch Operation Avalanche by Matt Johnson, one of my favorite directors of all time. It's brilliant. Please support the boys who make the Run the Bend show. It was called Operation Avalanche, actually. But yes, I love the conspiracy theory that Stanley Kubrick wasn't involved in The Shining. So in The Shining, involved in the moon landing, because there is so many fun Easter eggs to validate this conspiracy. There's things hidden in 2001. There's things hidden in The Shining, and most crazy of all is the objective truth that to make Barry Lyndon, Kubrick used the camera lenses they used to record the moon landing. This, if those that don't know this, Barry Lyndon is all shot with natural lighting. He didn't use any studio stage lights. He shot everything with candle light, so it was historically accurate to the time period. And the only way he could achieve that is to have these super, super expensive, fancy lenses, which NASA invented for the moon landing, that was allowed to let more specific light into the lens. So Body explicitly has correspondence with NASA. It's like, I honestly, I don't believe it, but I just love how many things align to make you go, okay, but what the fuck's that about? Okay, but why is that there? Why is there a reference to IBM in 2001? Why did he change the thing? Also, by the way, the reason why he changed the stuff in The Shining is just because he wanted to fuck with Stephen King. If you ever have a question of like, why the hell did he change something in The Shining? It's just to fuck with Stephen King. Why did he change the car that's crashed on the side of a road from like a yellow car to a red car? It's because Stephen King had a red car. He was just fucking with Stephen King. It was Kubrick is a ridiculously sarcastic kind of petty bastard, notoriously. He had a very dark and quite brilliant sense of humor. You have to remember that. He's a massive troll. When you watch Stephen King's Shining on Movie in the Discord, we could do a whole Stanley Kubrick marathon, man. Kubrick was a normal person who had 16 cats, which featured in the cat scene in freaking Clockwork Orange. Yes, don't, like, people like to forget how goofy Kubrick is. It's very easy to, like, romanticize him as one of the great auteurs of our time, and it's true. I mean, he's brilliant, but he's freaking a comedian. He's a dark comedian. His movies are so, I think in many ways, are comedies. Even at their most kind of, philosophical, they're always comedic. I think there's so many moments in 2001 that should not be taken seriously and are just like I feel like in-jokes with Kubrick. Stephen King himself directed the Shining movie as a fuck you to Kubrick. We shouldn't get into Kubrick, okay? We've only got a few more minutes of the pod and we're talking about Stephen King and Kubrick. But all this is to say, I'm a big sucker for Kubrick's work, but most people are, for good reason. This is an interesting question. And it does require me to be a little bit more frank and honest about stuff that I tend to not be. How does your mum feel about the fact that you grew up in a no games allowed household and now you make a living playing games on stream? And has that come up, and how in hindsight? Well, here's the thing. It wasn't necessarily a no games household. In the regards of my main household wasn't like that. Once again, bit frank, not getting to specifics, moved around a lot and was in lots of different houses and stayed with a lot of different people growing up. Mech mum, she was never a no games person. However, I mean, you can word it that way. We weren't in the economic position to ever have video games. So I wanted to, but I knew that I was not going to be asking for a PS for Christmas. Like, that just wasn't viable. And then when it was other households that I was in, because moving around a lot, those households had more of a strict mentality about things. There's reasons why I never watch certain media like The Simpsons or whatever, because those households there's like, depending on different positions of where I was, is either households with very strict understandings of like, okay, you financially we can get you a DS, but you're only allowed to play educational games. So that was the case. Or financially, games are just not an option because we had to try and eat food this week. So it was that kind of, it's kind of those both, it was a mix of both of those situations. Both those situations of a very complex upbringing that probably that's as much as I'll say on that topic, really. But it did just mean that long and the short of it was I was a little kid that was like, wow, I want to play Doom. I want to play like the cool video games. Wow, I stand outside JB Hi-Fi like, you know, freaking, when will my reflection show the gamer I am inside? like I was like that. But I was always a very aware child as the eldest, and I had to be very realistic. And I was not going to sit here and throw a stink about not getting things I want because it would reflect poorly for my siblings. You know what I mean? Like, I knew there were just not things that I was able to get, and that's just how it was. So I would find my way to have fun with what was available to me. You know, if that makes sense? Does that make sense? Does that make kind of sense? And nowadays, I can play as many video games as I want. What was your first game, PC, or console? I have talked about this. I've talked about the little drug, the little thing that got me into wanting to like video games, and it always kind of like the Easter egg, the little element that pushed me to now be the person who's always in the back of my mind wanting to play video games. I was given one of the houses we in a little bit more of a rough situation. My birthday gift, I believe it was my birthday gift that year, was a secondhand hand-me-down Game Boy Micro. It was the red Game Boy Micro, and it was a hand-me-down for my birthday gift, and I got 2 games. I got the Barbie game, which I didn't like, and I got the Scooby-Doo movie Game Boy game, and I played that Scooby-Doo Game Boy game constantly. So it was the Game Boy Micro, and I had that as my one game console, and I had one game on it for years, and I played it until that cartridge gone damn broke. And then afterwards, a bit older, me and Mexis got a DS, which we shared. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in the economic situation where you're like, you guys can get a game thing, but you're sharing it. And I don't know if any of you guys had to do that with the DS. we shared the DS, and it was like, you can play your educational shared video games. Eventually, I think it was a year or so later, we got a second DS. We had our own DSs because eventually they realized, maybe sharing DSs isn't the best idea. But then again, I grew up sharing like a bedroom with my sister until I was in the middle of my teenage years. Like, I like, me and my sister, like, you know, we were very used to basically being like constantly around each other and having to share stuff and having to split things because like economically that's what we had to do. It's our DS. And for the siblings, it can be rough. It's just the way it is. My grandpa's game gave us a NES. My sister was obsessed, so it was put in my room so we could play together. Oh, that's sweet. Jets, is it true that most VTubers have daddy issues, mommy issues, and tummy issues? What does it mean if you have all 3? Ayo! I feel like, yeah. But then again, we you know, whatever. It teaches you patience for sure. Yeah. So yeah, because of all this, I have a lot of blank space. A lot of like, just like blank space in my gaming knowledge because I wasn't able to, and that's what I've been enjoying while streaming, is filling in those blank spaces and going back and playing games I would have always loved to have played, like all the retro shooters and everything like that were just not on the table as a thing that was available to me growing up. Sorry, I'm missing something in the with the additional caveat of what days we could play being restricted. Oh, damn. Good for you. Reparenting yourself, just like doing Just doing what the heart desires, man. Hit all 3. That's a jackpot. That's a Mr. Jackpots. All right, boys, I am almost finished my coffee, and we are heading to the possibly wrapping up this segment of the pod. Well, you played Deus Ex, Jets. It's one of the greatest games ever made, and it's one of the games which has just made me who I am. Those last few years of streaming, once again, we were talking a little earlier in the pod about like how hard it is somewhat to do the most truest thing, which is just being yourself. You know, sometimes it's so hard. I feel like through streaming, there's so many times where I'll play a game like Deus Ex. Oops, sorry. I'm not the microphone. And I'm like, where has this been all my life? You know, I'll play a game and I'm like, this feels like it's always been a part of me. It feels like there was something that was leading up to me always playing this game. You know, and Deus Ex and games like that are like one of those where I'm like, it's just who I am, was a person who was meant to play Deus Ex. What life lessons does Deus Ex teach us that we all need to learn? Have you tried getting a job? The game was made for me. Cinema. I've been playing the original Deus Ex. It's a lot easier than I thought. Yeah, well, that's the thing, because it's so endless. There's so many different ways you can play the game. It can be really easy because you have so much creative possibility of how you can approach all the challenges. So you can just approach it in the way that makes the most sense for you. It doesn't restrict you. It doesn't force you to be like, you have to do it in this kind of way, and therefore you have to do it right and maybe challenge yourself to learn a new trick, you know. So we into old men before or after seeing Revolver Ocelot? That's the kind of thing I should take up with Jesus. I have to take that one up in confession, I think. There wasn't anything I was going to showcase. Give me a second, my bookmarks. No, these are funny meme things. I gotta show them off later in the week. I was like, is there anything serious in my... Okay, 2 more things. There's 2 more things that are important to talk about in the pod episode. One is new music I found. We love having the Jets new music suggestions segment of the pod. That's a staple at this point. I will talk about what music I've been listening to. 2 is Severance. And that's all I'm saying on that. Jets' new music segment of the pod. All right. So. I can't believe we're at the season finale. I just... Oh, man. Alright. So, boys, I have been listening to 2 things. 2 very different things. Please sit down, get comfy, grab yourself a cup of coffee. We're talking about what music has Jets been listening to at the moment. I have been reading Cat's Cradle by... This is the kind of culture chatting about the media we've been consuming recently stuff. I watched 2 movies. I watched Mickey 13. I watched Looking for Our Brandy. Mickey 13, more like mid-key 13. Looking for Our Brandy, incredible piece of classic Australian cinema. Recommend that if you're interested in looking what it's like to grow up as an Australian teen. The book I'm currently reading is Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle. I'm almost at the end of it. I think I've got like a few more chapters of it. Very interesting. Also, wasn't expecting the foot fetishism. Just gonna be honest. If you know, you know. That's been a little bit. Though I did actually cry. I actually started crying while reading Cat's Cradle the other day. Probably because it was yesterday and I was a bit emotionally vulnerable because of everything that's going on. There was this really beautiful segment in the book that kind of made me tear up. Vonnegut's work is really incredible. And he just, from the stuff that he went through in his life, I wasn't crying over the foot fetishism, by the way. No, but Vonnegut went through a lot. You know, he fought in World War I, and you know all this kind of stuff, and his outlook on the world is very wonderful. And there was a little reminiscing segment. It just kind of made me a little emotional, just the way he worded everything, and I was like, it really clicked with me. So I'm very much enjoying Cat's Cradle. even if there's like a weird kind of foot thing in the book. I don't know about that necessarily. Also, Kurt Vonnegut's ability to kind of self-insert himself to always getting to be with a hot gal is kind of funny to me. In the 2 Vonnegut books I've read so far, I'm like, Vonnegut, there's something going on here, buddy. You seem to there's motifs that are appearing. There's certain motifs that are appearing in the work. Vonnegut seems to always be forced into a situation with a really hot woman, and he's like, oh no, I guess we now have to be in love. Oh, oops. Oh, that sucks. It's like, Vonnegut, you old dog. Yeah, like Slaughterhouse 5, and he gets a super hottie, and literally like Cat's Cradle, where he's forced to be with the hottest woman in the entire world. Oh gosh, oh god damn it, oh no, the hottest woman in the entire world, I'm now forced to have sex with her? Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess if I have to, I guess if it will save the world. Such a burden. Oh no. Oh, little old Kurt Vonnegut. I guess no, if no one else is gonna do it, I have to. Is Vonnegut the first Tumblr fanfic writer? No, it's different. Like Vonnegut's work is like he's like genuinely a brilliant writer, and his writing is just incredible. No one writes in such an addictive way as him, but I'm noticing now after reading my next Vonnegut book that there is a certain trend, and if it appears again in Breakfast of Champions, I'm gonna lose my shit. But yeah, I'm enjoying Cat's Cradle. I'll see how it all ends. At the moment, I'm noticing, boys. I'm enjoying his work. So 2 things I've been listening to recently when it comes to music is, boys, I'm so into Etta Jones right now. I'm lovely lady Etta Jones. I can't stop listening to her. I cook when I'm cooking, when I'm making my coffee in the morning, when I'm winding down in the evening. Ooh. She's like, I can't stop listening to Don't Go to Strangers, the 1960s album. It is beautiful. Her voice is incredible. I'm kind of in a bit of an Etta Jones kick. Do you guys know who I'm talking about when I say that? Should we have to play some? This will get muted. Apologies. This will definitely get muted because it's classic, but, it's just listen to this. Her voice. I'm just enjoying a little bit of classic jazz at the moment.
Build your dreams to the stars above.
Oh my god.
But when you need someone to love.
Just how'd she do it? How does she do it, boys? Woo! Wait for the final, like, the voice run in the next part.
Don't go to
The
strangers.
Like I get tingles all over when she hits the strangers. Don't go to strangers. How, Etta? How? Darling.
Come on to me.
What the fuck?
Play
What the fuck?
till you're
It's just so, it makes my brain so happy, because I've been feeling so like stressed and all over the place with everything else, and she's grounding me. She's bringing me all the way back down. It's like everything's okay. When I listen to Etta Jones, everything's gonna be fine. Oh, and then the actual music in the background too is beautiful. It's so good. It's like on the days where I'm like a bit stressed out, the voices, they will calm down when I listen to Etta Jones. It's just so good. There's some classic jazz blues notes. It just, ooh. So this is Etta Jones. I've been kind of I've been kind of obsessed with this album, listening to it back to back. That's my number one. My number one current like music that I'm listening to. Yeah, it's good to lose yourself in some tunes. It's crazy how good some people can sing. Some people, that voice is truly an instrument. And when you hear someone like Etta Jones, is like, that is an instrument. She's not just saying the lines. She's playing the reverbs like it's a violin. It's crazy. I can imagine listening to this a nice chill evening. It's also it's like being very appropriate because it's been very warm in Australia. So it's just like a warm afternoon, putting on some Etta Jones, making myself dinner. I've been needing it. So I've been listening to a lot of Etta Jones, but that's probably a little bit more typical, stuff that, you guys might have heard beforehand. The other thing that I've been listening to is Pretend. I'm still on my math rock bullshit. I for ages I'd listened to Bones in the Soil, Rust and Oil. Like, I've listened to that album quite a few times. I finally went and listened to Tapestried Life by Pretend, and I'm like, this is also a really good album. This is also very, very good classic math rock, and it's good. It's not as whiny and Midwestern emo as like Sports is. Sports was like, the lyrics are a bit much, but Pretend, the lyrics are very much not that cringe, and then the music itself is really, really good. So I've been listening to Pretend quite a bit. Lots of very like long droning songs. So let me I should do that thing where I screenshot the album cover that we were playing, so you guys can see what we're listening to. There we go. Save that. Save that. Let me see. Here we are. Hi Ori, and welcome in. That's Etta Jones. Anyone's wondering, don't go strangers. Etta Jones. This album is beautiful and has been on my current rotation all for the last few days, the last week or so. She's the best cooking. I love cooking while I listen to jazz. What can I say? I just love listening to jazz while cooking. She's great. If you've never listened to like a female blues jazz musician and you've always been like, I wanted to get into that, I would recommend her. Then the other band that I've been listening to completely, once again, the classic Jets thing where it's like, hi, I'm listening to Etta Jones, also I'm listening to Deftones. Make it make sense. The other band I've been listening to is definitely a different vibe, so this might not be for everybody. So you've acquired a taste of freeform jazz. Critic of Innocence, thank you so much for 18 months to support the stream. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing wonderful. You like jazz? I do. I need to get more into it, essentially. Like, I really like jazz, and I feel like my jazz is still pretty surface level. Like, I'm not like into that. Like, there's a whole world of niche jazz you can get into. And I'm really kind of a noob when it comes to jazz, but I mean, Ella Fitzgerald's a great place to start. From which era? Any era, any. I'm really sorry. Back to my random morning jazz background I have. I'm really all over the place. If it's good, it's good in my heart. Jazz is my favorite genre to listen to when relaxing. The thing about jazz is people think of it as like what I'm playing on in the background currently, which is like relaxing. Then there's the whole world of free jazz, which is just like the opposite of relaxing. People forget that jazz can be like hyper. Jazz can make your brain go, and the runs. Like it can get really hard. Like jazz can go like you're summoning some kind of fucking demon, like acid jazz, and you're like, and it's a whole different experience. It's like the goddamn death metal of jazz, and I kind of love that too. But it's a whole different thing. And all are good. They're all and the drummers are when you get like a really good jazz drum run, and it's like your heart is palpitating inside your head, and you got big band energy, giant steps. Oh, it's all the whole thing. It's just really, really good. On topic of music, I have a song that greatly helped my mental health. Blue Oyster Cult Venture Psychotic Boards. Hell yeah, chuck it in the Discord. Suggestions, music suggestions, media suggestions. Always love to see what jetpacks are listening to. yeah, there's all different kind of music. There's the speakeasy, there's the like stuff that plays in the cafe. It's not one thing. Jazz is great. And I think the reason why I like jazz is I really like math rock. And I feel like math rock and jazz have a lot going on, specifically when you get into like real complex time signature jazz, which is my favorite kind of like jazz that I want to listen to more of, because that's where those kind of things are a little bit similar. And talking about that, let's listen to some math rock that I've been vibing with at the moment. Sorry, that's Etta Jones. I've recently went back and listened to a different album by Pretend, another band I'm enjoying. This starts off slow. I might skip into it because it's got a really long intro. So it starts off really slow, but when it gets into the instrumentals, boys, whoo! When it gets into the instrumentals, that's when it's like, ooh. So this is the album that I went back and listened to, and I was like, okay, I didn't listen to this album. I listened to the other album by the band, and then sometimes you go like, I like this other album, I'm gonna try something else by them, and you're like, wait a second, this shit good. So I recently went through and listened to this album by Pretend. I'd only listened to Bones and Soil, Rust and Oil, which is also a good album. I would suggest starting with Bones and Soil. And if you like Bones and Soil, then you can get into Tapestry Life, because this is a bit more slow. Wait for it. Wait. Yes! Yeah! Yes! Yeah, boys! That's what we're talking about! So that's Pretend. I went through and listened to Tapestry Life, but I would recommend Rust and Soil. That's a great album as well. That's a lot more like summery though. Maybe wait for it to be summertime, and then you guys can check out Rust and Soil. Oh yeah, just throw me a drop and blindside me with another. That's math rock, baby. You need it. It keeps you on the toes. That's why I love it so much. It's what my inside of my brain sounds like. Hey, the drummer woke up. Amazing. Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like when you're spacing out, you're like, and then your brain goes thoughts, and that's what math rock. It feels like what the inside of my brain sounds like constantly. I've kind of discovered. That's why I think I like it so much. Like it's the brain sounds like that. These songs are really good, Jets. You liking them? They're all over the place. My taste in music all over the place, but that's kind of just what I've been into. Also, kind of went back and listened to LCD Sound System a little bit recently. I think I mentioned that. I was kind of like still listening to Belle Sebastian, still back listening to LCD Sound System, that kind of stuff. What was the song name? Oh yeah, of course. That was Wrapped in Fantasy by Pretend. I recommend their stuff. They're like a Californian math rock band. I don't think they've released anything recently. Oh, last release is like 2017. Damn. But yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. I'm really into them. I recommend, Bones and Soil. If Jetpack, this is my suggested song. For you, if you want to actually listen to a song by Pretend, is listen to this song here. This is what got me into them. If you want a song, here we go. Let me save this. Files, save that. If you want to get into this, and if you're vibing with that, just go head first. Whatever. This is once again, math rock's not for everybody, but if you like it, if you got the itch, here's the scratch. Those luminous noises is a god. Oh, this is a vibey song. This song vibes, boys. Vibes strongly. I'm a big fan. Like, I'll play a little bit of it. It starts really slow, but I love it. Woo! This might be the outro song for today's stream, I think. actually, with that being said, maybe we should start wrapping this up. Thank you guys for being here today. I unfortunately didn't really get to all of the questions as much as I would want to. That's because the questionnaire sheet is still kind of in the work in progress. I think for the next episode, we'll have a brand new questionnaire sheet and brand new questions, and I'll try and properly answer more things. Today's pod was just kind of a getting back into it. We unfortunately missed the pod last week because of health stuff and medication not working for me, and medication still being an ongoing struggle for me, but thank you seriously for all of your patience with me. Thank you for the patience with being back, not being as perfect as I wanted it to be, supporting what I do. Thank you for supporting all of Vishayon. I'm going to keep on, pushing myself these months to focus on getting back to a baseline that feels right. So then for the second half of the year, we're going to be like, the training wheels are off, the restriction vest is off, and we can just kind of go hard. But for now, it's going to be a little bit longer of treading water and getting through it, and I can't wait until I do. Now, enough of me talking about my sad fucking bullshit. Let's find someone to send our support to. Who's online on the internet today, boys? Who was not saying hello to? Thank you for unpacking. Thank you always for unpacking with me, letting me be Frank, calling me Frank. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Cody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow night. We're going to be paying the bills tomorrow night, boys. Please stop by and support me. If you don't want to be there to pay the bills, that is completely fine. I'll be back with freaking Devil May Cry 5 and some VR chat and some Deus Exing, which will be what I'm really looking forward to. Who is live that we haven't seen in a little bit? I don't know. Who have we not raided in a little while? Do you want to raid Lumi? We never raid Lumi back, do we? Let's raid Lumi. I never get to raid Lumi. Oh my god, let's raid Lumi. Thank you so much. We missed you when you were away, but your health is important than stream. Don't worry, you can't stop me. Like I said, I might not be able to work on project stuff offline at the moment as much as I want to, but what I can do, the thing that I'm able to do, even when my brain is the most scattered, the place where my brain feels clear and we're able to just hang out, this. I'm gonna be able to keep doing this with you all. So, alright, I'm back for the rest of the week, back for the rest of the next few months. You guys can't get rid of me unless I have to go get on a flight. But I'll keep you updated. Let's start raiding the Lemon Lady! Exclamation point raid grabs you that raid message, but you can also say whatever you would like to the lovely Lemon Lady. Send her our kindness and support, gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate you all. Have an amazing, wonderful, brilliant, and a lovely. And until next time, just in case I don't get to see you next time, that's all good, because this time I get to say jetpack jetting out. Also, bye-bye, Eds. Eds, have I ever mentioned that I read your name wrong? You're not I'm not Eds in my head. You're I'm noted. You will always be I'm noted in my brain. Everyone, have a really good time. Have a really good one. Have a good rest of your day. I'm going to call places. I'm going to go have a snack. Get yourself a snack. I'll be in the Discord. I did not say she's sour. Do not say these false accusations. I would never say that about a Kanoki Lumi. I adore Lumi. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being an amazing group of packs. Couldn't have asked for better purple pals. Au revoir. Good night. Adios. Listen to some Etta. Listen to some jazz for me. Get yourself some coffees. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow night for some ass and crease. Bye bye. Jetpack getting out. Thank you for being at the Unpacking pod. Looking forward to more unpacking next week with you all. Bye bye. Until next time. I'll catch you later. Thank you.
This has been a Cynapse Inc. broadcast. Cynapse Inc. linking you with a safer tomorrow.